day. We saw day 1 provide some great action. Day 2 definitely topped it. Day 3 is the final day, and I think we're going to get the best FIFA we've seen all week.
Definitely, I am up for that. Now, if you are at home and you're wanting to play some competitive FIFA, well, you can with the PS4 Open Series. Mike, tell them about this.
Well, first off, it runs all year, March 30th to December 31st, 2020. PS4 tournaments are weekly competitions for all skill levels. Compete against your friends and your rivals for unique rewards. Remember, you're playing online for prizes ranging from unique game-specific dynamic themes and avatars to in-game currency and cash prizes.
And you're going to be joined by Brandon Smith, Richard Buckley for the weekly broadcast hosted by PlayStation, where competitors in the PS4 Tournament Open Series will be able to show off their skills to their friends and compete for some cash.
Yes, you will. You can go to compete.playstation.com if you want more information, or you can, on your PlayStation in the game, locate the PS4 Tournaments menu option, and then that will bring you to the events tab right there. And once you get towards that, once you manage to find it, well, you can select an upcoming tournament from the list. You register and link your account within a few seconds, and as you can see, there's 4 weekly qualifiers, 1 monthly final, and that will crown our monthly champion. So make sure you go to compete.playstation.com for more information. And who knows, one day we might see you at a FIFA 20 or FIFA 21, FIFA 22, who knows, Summer Cup Series. But if you're at home and you're thinking, I want to get involved in this conversation, well, you can, all right. Make sure you use social media. We're all on Twitter, so make sure you use that at EA FIFA Esports. Join in that conversation and also use that hashtag Summer Cup Series. We want to hear from you. Yes, we do. Now, let's go back. Before we get into Championship Thursday, aka Championship Sunday, as Mike is calling it, let's look back at day 2. Jake, what a day it was. Goals galore down under. That is how Richard Buckley described it. What a day it was.
It really was, and things did not go as planned. We thought Footwiz Jamie was going to be our man, and we thought we were going to see that Footwiz Darby to kick today off, and that's not what we're seeing. We see the 2 favorites, Honey Badger, Footwiz Jamie, not making it through. Instead, we have this new wave, as Mike was calling it yesterday. We're seeing A. Nazar and D.W. Dillon, and 2 players that completely deserved it. What a day they had.
They definitely did. Now, Mike, we've been talking about the old guard taking on the new guard. And as we can see right here, A. Nazar really showed the world what he's capable of by beating Honey Badger, also showing his skills. This is someone which could come through. And this new guard, they look good.
Absolutely, and the same can be said with Dylan, because Dylan's only loss was versus Nazar as well. So they weren't struggling against the household names, the guys that we're used to seeing in the community. Marco's kind of got his back against. He's got to put on for the culture. He's been one of the guys that's been part of this region's competitive scene from the early years. He's been very successful the last couple of years in the scene. He's got to come through. He's got to come with it. Otherwise, we're going to have a new narrative.
Definitely. Now, we do have Footwiz Marco taking on A. Nazar. We also have Greek Freak taking on D.W. Dillon. What a day this could be. This is what the playoffs bracket currently looks at. Footwiz Marco, as I said, taking on A. Nazar in our winners final. And then Greek Freak taking on D.W. Dillon in that losers semi-final. And we'll see who can progress throughout the day. The losers final, the winners will go through to that grand final as well. It is all to play for. And Jake, looking at that, I don't want early predictions just yet, but what are you feeling? What are you feeling inside? What sensations are running through your body, except for tiredness because it's super early in the US?
I really think that Marco's got to go in as the favorite. I think if you're a betting man, you're going to put your money on Marco. Everyone else, phenomenal days they had, but you really just got to go with Marco. He is the veteran player in this group. A lot of the players that are left are players that looked up to Marco probably. They're all very young, whereas Marco's got the experience. But as we saw yesterday, experience doesn't always equal wins. So if that's anything like we saw yesterday, who knows? We could continue to see those upsets.
There could definitely be some upsets today. Mike, what about you? You've had 2 days now of mulling over what's been going on at the FIFA 20 Summer Cup Series, Oceania. How are you feeling?
Well, first up, we're on an upward swing right now. Day 1 was great. Day 2 was even better. Now we're here with day 3. We need to go ahead and keep that moving in the right direction. And something that I do want to add to what Jake was saying is with a lot of guys that have experience. I feel like that comes into play more if you're in a LAN environment, because you have the bright lights, you have brands, partnerships, you've got commentators, you've got interviews, all these different facets going on, and it blows up the experience. You're under a magnifying glass. Whereas you're playing online, everybody's playing from their normal setup, their living room or their office or their bedroom, whatever it might be. And we can see their setups when they're getting underway here. But I think that it's definitely benefited some of the young guys that have been up and comers.
Now, we've talked about it being an even play field moving through this tournament. These were the 8 which started here in our Oceania event. Only 4 are left remaining in this finals day. And 2 of them that I want to have a discussion about is FUTWIZ Marco and A Nizar, because they will go head to head. Let's start with FUTWIZ Marco. There's probably a lot of pressure with him because he's coming into this as the favourite, Jake. Everyone, including us, have been talking about him, his abilities and what he could really show the world he's capable of, and that's going to weigh on him, on his shoulders a little bit.
Yeah, as we all said, he is coming in as the 2nd highest ranked player in this tournament. A Nizar is someone who isn't expected to win. Yes, he may have won his first 2 games, but FUTWIZ Marco is that favorite, like you just said, and all the pressure is exactly on him. And if he doesn't live up to the hype, he was supposed to win, and it's a disappointing day. But if he does win, he was supposed to do it, and all the glory goes to him. So A Nizar just has to play the same game he was playing yesterday, play relaxed. FUTWIZ Marco, on the other hand, is someone who, all the pressure's on his shoulder.
Now, something that I've just realised is when he was asked the best FIFA player in the world, FUTWIZ Marco, his response, Mike, was Tex and Dasari. He's on the fence. He couldn't choose between the 2. I know that you don't like people who sit on the fence, do you?
Well, hold on, because we can say this same situation with Cristiano and Messi. At this point, I'm just okay if you want to say both. These 2 have been major leaders in the competitive FIFA community between Tex and MS Dasari. So if you want to say you like them both, I'm okay with that. I've gotten past that point. We don't have to say either or.
Okay, all right, I'll let you off. Right, let's jump into it with predictions. Mike, I'm starting with you. I'm not letting you off today. Who are you going with for this first matchup?
Well, I think a lot of us are going to agree, but I just can't get away from FUTWIZ Marco. Maybe because I'm part of that old guard. I've competed against him, or I've been at events that he's been at when I was competing in FIFA tournaments, and I just think he's going to do enough. And those expectations, as Jake was saying, that he has, that target on his back, sometimes I believe that makes you play a little bit better. You feel you need to win. You should be winning this. You've got that extra oomph, that push. A lot of guys haven't experienced, and we're here on the final day, haven't experienced winning tournaments, winning events, so things might change a little bit. They tighten up, and I just think Marco's going to do enough.
Jake, who are you going for, A Nizar or FUTWIZ Marco?
I think I'm going with FUTWIZ Marco. He led off day 1 with a big win against Jazz 4-2 in that one. I like him in this game. I really do. And he is the favorite. It's the easy choice, I'd say. And if he doesn't win, A Nizar is a great player. Expect big things from him. And this could be an upset pick, but I got to go with Marco. Got to go with my gut.
Jake and Mike are both going with FUTWIZ Marco. There are opinions. What about Richard and Brandon, who will be commentating through the tournament today? Richard, you are our prediction master from yesterday, so I'm going to leave you until last because then I can take your prediction. Brandon, who are you going for this game?
I think we have to look at what's been achieved this year in FIFA 20 and sort of over the last couple of years. I think you've got to be back in FUTWIZ Marco, you know, someone that was always talked about. It was him and Jamie that we were talking about to go the full way this week. And Jamie's fell a little bit early into the tournament, but FUTWIZ Marco looked really, really good. And I feel like he's going to be the man to do so. But now Rich is going to disagree with me and he's going to go the other way.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna get my pen and my paper, all right? So I've got that ready. Okay, go on. Richard, who are you going for?
I just feel like I'm seeing something in Nizar that maybe others aren't. I think defensively he looks so good. And yeah, I'm going with Nizar. I actually think potentially he could go on even win the entire event.
Well, there you heard from Richard, and then I'm going to agree with you there. I'm going with A Nizar as well. We'll see what happens. Richard, Brandon, it's over to you. You have our first matchup, FUTWIZ Marco taking on A Nizar.
Thank you very much, Colin. Yes, welcome back to day 3 of the Summer Cup Series, Oceania. And we are back for the big one. Forget Championship Sundays. It's Championship Thursday, Richard. And this is a big one because we got our 2 sort of winners of day 1 and day 2. They went through just 2 games of action. They didn't need to go anywhere near the losers bracket. They've both come into day 3, guaranteeing themselves at least at least a third place spot, I should say, and $5,000. How do you see this one playing out? I know you've looked at Nazar and you've backed him, and to be honest, I think there's been a couple of names in this tournament that have surprised a lot of people, and he's been one of those.
Absolutely, yeah. You look at his results, a 5-3 win over Dylan, who then went on to dispatch Footwiz Jamie, the highest ranked Xbox player, 7-3. And then he kept Honey Badger to a 3-goal deficit. He beat him 3-0, meaning he kept a clean sheet. Nobody else really has had that sort of defensive ability in this tournament. Only conceding 3 goals in his 2 matches.
He will be kicking from right to left in this one in the white strip with, of course, Marco repping the Footwiz colours. Back to goal R9 early on. Hello. We're only 9 minutes into this one. And the goals are flying in from R9 Ronaldo.
And the perfect start for Nazir in this winners bracket final. Guaranteed top 3 finish, as you said, Brandon. The winner of this will progress through to the grand final. The loser drops down to the losers bracket and will play the winner of Greek Freak FIFA and DW Dylan.
Just to sort of talk about Nazar for a little bit, Rich. I mean, he played for Western Sydney Wanderers in the E-League this year. It was a top 4 finish there. He did qualify for FUT Champions Cup #1, and he actually went on a pretty good run in the tournament in terms of, for someone that's made their first ever major tournament. He went into round 5 of the Swiss rounds, and we spoke about it yesterday. He went up against Tuga. I mean, that's not the nicest of games he had to play against. Unfortunately, went out 2-3 in the Swiss stages. Did qualify for FUT Champions Cup #5 that was meant to be in Bucharest. Of course, that was cancelled as the Global Series was suspended. But I also think if he goes to that tournament, Richard, and he maybe gets himself out of Swiss or goes and has a bit of a run in the tournament, next thing you know, he's in the top 50 on the Global Series rankings and not outside of the top 50. And I think coming into the tournament, we naturally just start talking about him more. But the Summer Cup Series has been a great opportunity for him to say, okay, I am a very good FIFA player. Watch out for me on FIFA 21 because I'm going to be making some noise.
Absolutely, yeah. I think the big opportunities will be coming more next year for him, but this is an absolutely unbelievable stepping stone, you could say, in his FIFA career if he was to win the Oceania Summer Series and really put his name at the forefront of this region. That is unbelievable, FIFA.
Oh.
Striking the post. Nazar coming out on fire in this final.
I mean, it could have easily been 2-0 to Nazar. What a start this would have been to proceedings. I said it yesterday in commentary. We saw at least 2 or 3 good goals that would have been in goals of the day. When he goes anywhere near the box of his opponent, he just seems 2 steps ahead of his opponent. Whether it's R9, Mbappe, Cristiano Ronaldo. The man he loves rocking in that cam roll, Neymar Jr. I mean, credit to Marco. I remember in day 1 of the tournament where he actually got it done in 2 in terms of he didn't need to go near the loser bracket. He beat Jazz 4-2. This is day 1. This is on Tuesday. He went and beat Greek Freak FIFA in that winners bracket match. 3-2. It was a narrow win, but he got the job done. But after that win, Richard, he said, there's just so much talent in this region that I'm glad the Summer Cup Series is here to sort of showcase it, to showcase what this region has. Because we know spots are hard to come by for this region, for FUT Champions Cups and other tournaments, and they're battling out. For example, we might see Nazar at one and Marco might miss out on the other one. But it's great to see, of course, how good these guys really are.
Absolutely. I think the big opportunities don't come round enough for this Oceania region. And I think something that I've sort of been deliberating, seeing the quality in this Oceania region, especially over the last 3 days, potentially, should EA be looking at the spots allocator and saying, this Oceania region potentially deserves another spot. Give it 2 spots for the PlayStation and the Xbox. Are they performing better than some of the other regions who have got more spots? These will be conversations that will be had. And I think the Summer Cup Series is showing it to light. Because players like Nazar, players like DW Dillon, don't get a chance really. Because in online qualification, you've got Marcus Gomes, you've got Jamie, Honey Badger, who are so dominant online that are taking those spots, and deservedly so.
And you hit the nail on the head perfectly as well there. You know, two players that we're lucky enough to see one of them in the Summer Cup series sort of just scraped his way into the top 8, and that was Honey Badger. But Marcus Gomes, a player that is so sort of known within this community. He's one of the first players alongside Marco. Of course, Honey Badger that sort of went global in terms of not just being known within the Oceania region, but on that world stage at FIFA E-World Cup finals and FUT Champions Cups all around the world. Here's Marco now, trying to sort of build into his first attack of the game, which he has struggled with so far. I mean, teams are pretty much on point and pretty much similar, Richard. The only changes that we've spoken about over these last couple of days is the odd fallback. Some players like Zambrotta, some players like Trent Alexander-Arnold, the team of the season so far. And then in the opposing teams, you're looking at Eusebio and R9, sort of the cam and striker role, and then Neymar and R9 on the other side for Nazar.
The teams really haven't changed at all in terms of the 11 selected. There's been a couple of swaps here and there in fullbacks, potentially centre-backs, but on the overall grand scheme of things, it's been a very similar story. You see the stats there at half-time, 2 shots, 1 on target, possession pretty much 50-50, and look at the pass accuracy at the bottom, 96 and 97%, I should say, respectively. It's the quality that we're seeing right here. Real top draw.
That's a really big game, isn't it? Because you win this, you sort of leapfrog the rest of the pack and you go to the grand finals. And next thing you know, you're putting your feet up for a couple of hours and you'll be waiting to see who joins you in that final. Remember, $10,000 on the line today. Someone will be winning $10,000 and will be the champion of their region, making a name for themselves before heading into the FIFA 21 Global Series. Here we go, then we're back underway. Currently, Nazar leads by a goal to nil. It could have easily been 2 if Neymar was able to find the back of the net. Could have been 2 goals in quick succession as well. Also wondering who else is in the Summer Cup series and who will be in action a little bit later on today. It's DW Dillon and Greek Freak FIFA. Again, 2 names that have had breakout years as well. It seems like we're repeating ourselves a lot, but it's just the case of what this region's shown us.
There's a lot of talent, underlying talent. I think that's one thing. But in terms of the global events, you don't really see too much. But there's a lot of emerging young talent, especially from Australia and New Zealand in Oceania. An opportunity like this, not only do they get to earn some prize money and get to play on a big stage, but also get the name out there, show people what they're all about, build a fan base.
There's no better place to make a name for yourself than in this tournament. You know what the Summer Cup series is? 23 days of action, 6 different FIFA tournaments. This is only the 2nd tournament of the Summer Cup series. So if you're a big fan of FIFA esports, you've still got 4 more tournaments to come up after this one. It's South America this weekend. And of course, the tournament moves over to Asia, North America, and then last but not least, Middle East and Africa. Over $228,000 in prize pool. Certainly going to be a summer to remember. Here's Nazar. De Bruyne into R9. Tries to speed up the attack ever so slightly. We'll still have possession. Mbappe to get on the ball for the first time. It's for birthday. Mbappe went for the cutback and lucky enough. Kevin De Bruyne was able to stand strong and to ensure there was no issues there. Marco now yet to see a shot or a real attack from the footways man.
On the edge.
And that change now, Mbappe. Who else is there? I mean, he's sort of been the MVP this weekend. It's hard to call, isn't it? Virgil van Dijk's been fantastic, but this Vieira at the back just seems to be making sort of all these big tackles and interceptions when you least expect him to.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of good quality back there, especially in the defensive aspect. But it's more about Nazir's not only custom tactics, but ability to get the players in the right place at the right time. Anybody can have those players on the pitch, but utilising them in their best potential way and getting the most out of the players, that's where the quality really does start to shine. This is a chance, though.
What can happen here for Marco? Even a goal. Before the end of this leg one would be massive. R9 no way through or no way around the corner for Hullet. Chance to break away for Nazar. It's certainly been a slower start to the second half. The man that's ranked 54th in the world. Nazar. And the people thinking, where's the goals? You've got to remember, guys, it's a huge game. You win this, you are literally guaranteed $7,500. $2,500 game.
Yep. Spot in the grand finals. And also that winner's advantage going into the final, because you only have to win one two-legged game of FIFA, where the person that you're facing coming from the loser's bracket will have to win two two-legged matches of FIFA.
Zambrotta was to find R9, the goal scorer of and goal for Nazar. This could be nice. Neymar back inside. Well defended, Virgil van Dijk. Sorted the splits there and just about got a left boot on that. The lifting. That Premier League trophy just last night. Dusted himself down to be one of the key players in the Summer Cup series. Long ball forward. That will go out for
Big day
corner,
for football.
I believe. And
last night, weren't it? We had Liverpool winning the league. And also Barnsley Football Club staying in the Championship. 91st minute winner.
to be honest, I was checking the table last night as well because I know you're a big Barnsley fan, and I was thinking of you. But for a long time, you were just in that bottom three and you weren't moving. I was thinking, what's got to happen for you to move? And then bang, as you said, 91st minute. Was it an own goal?
No, mate. Back post. Woodrow stuck it in there. Unbelievable scenes. Heartbreak for Wigan. The Reds go marching on.
We saw a couple of changes there in the last couple of minutes for Marco. Just 8 minutes left in this first leg. The second leg to come up in this game. Remember, this is our championship day 3 of the competition in the Oceania region. $10,000 on the line. This is only our first game of the day. Whoever wins this goes into the grand final. Hullet. Back to Cruyff. This is Nazar. Ronaldo, a couple of step overs, accelerated fake shots around his man. Trent was there. Trent does enough to clear it out for a corner, but you can just see Marco, he's not happy. I mean, I fully understand why. He's not been able to play the way he wants to.
See a very similar story to what happened when Nazar faced up against Honey Badger. Nazar got that early goal. Keeps compact. Sits deep and really makes it hard to play against.
I think that will just about do us for the first leg here. We've played additional time. Yes, there's time to attack once more, but Trent Alexander-Arnold's going to deal with that. And that will conclude leg 1 in our first game of the day here in the Summer Cup Series Oceania region. Richard, up by a goal is Nazar, and I mean, Marco just really struggled to get anything going in that one. I mean, I can't really call back to a proper chance we did see from Marco. It was a brilliant start. First 25 minutes from Nazar, hit the post, scored a goal with R9. Another day could be 2-0 up, and I'm sure that smile would be a little bit bigger from him.
Yeah, I like to call it sort of touch-tight defending, what Nazar does. you sit deep and you don't push forward, you don't go aggressive, you don't pull players out of position. But as soon as you get within, I'd say 23, 24 yards out, everything's arm's length away. Everything's very tight. You make sure that as soon as they're trying to shoot, you get a block on. As soon as they're trying to make a pass, you've got an interception. You see a little bit more information about Nazar if this is the first time you are watching and you've seen this player in action. He's a Arsenal fan. His favourite Foot 20 player is Ronaldo Nazario. He's a student, and his first ever LAN event was earlier this year with the Foot Champions Cup Stage 1.
That's what we were saying, weren't we? He's one of those players that's been involved from the very start this year. And the fact that he's a player that qualified for Foot Champions Cup #1, Richard, played in the E-League, obviously kept on grinding, kept on doing exactly everything he could to make more major tournaments, and then qualified for the last major of the year, shows a player that's sort of been consistent in terms of he's always been spoken about in qualifications and sort of in any FIFA esports tournament out in that region. Well, let's have a look at the highlights. This is the first goal that did happen from R9. Watch the movement of R9 now. Sort of goes Neymar to R9. R9 drops the shoulder, turns as he will, and I mean, that's just R9, isn't it? He's so clinical in front of the goal.
A shake of the head there from Marco. And a look towards the camera. It's such a small turn, though, wasn't it? You've seen, if you remember back to Marco on day one, when he was scoring all them goals, I believe his first game was against Jazz, it was just into R9, a tiny little bit of left stick movement, and then shot straight away. And the exact same that you just saw there from Nazar. You get into R9's feet, turn, shoot straight away. I've seen a lot of people also in the Twitch chat saying they think Nazar will win the whole tournament. Interesting that he's starting to get people's backing as well now from the community.
Certainly is indeed. I mean, this is the perfect place to make a name for yourself. And as we said, it could have easily been 2-0 if Neymar was to find the back of the net on that occasion. Here we go then. We are back underway. Leg 2 between Footwiz Marco and Nazar is underway now. Nazar does lead by 1-0, as we said. We saw that goal from R9. Think back to who's been sort of Mr. Clutch for Marco. It's been R9. He's been the man that scored literally 90% of his goals. He's got to get him more on the ball. He said that in an interview, post-match interview on day one of the tournament. He said, the one thing that people just struggle to do is get R9 on the ball. He's great on the ball. You've just got to get it into his feet.
Absolutely. You have to make the ball come to him, because he's not going to come to the ball. Fire it into their feet. Double tap pass into R9. His shooting, especially in the final third, is unbelievable. But you have to force the ball to him.
He can sort of go missing at times as well, can't he? Especially when you've got De Bruyne and Hullet in front of you, plus the likes of Vieira and just Virgil van Dijk breathing down the back of your neck. Speaking of the devil, there he is. He did change him with Neymar. Hullet. Back to Neymar now on the finesse, and it's into the back of the net.
Not heard those words come out of your mouth for a while, Brandon. But Neymar, beautiful finesse shot on the edge of the box. We've seen time green shooting from Dylan. We've seen finesse shots from Nazir. This tournament bringing us all different types of goals.
Hit the nail on the head there. I honestly can't remember the last time I saw a finesse shot going to the back of the net. 2-0. Nazar, I mean, this man is making a name for himself if he hasn't already. Technically, he's a free agent as well, which just makes you wonder even more how, why, and when's he going to be getting signed up by an esports organisation, or maybe a contract extension at Western Sydney Wanderers. Chance back to goal. Oh no, and that's the chance again. He hits the post.
I tell you what, he scored 2 goals and he's hit the post twice as well. Has Nazar. Another day, he's 4-0 up, absolutely cruising to 7.5k. while it's 2-0 and while we still have 70 minutes remaining, Footwiz Marco has the skill, has the technique, and has the belief to turn this game back around.
It certainly was a lifeline, wasn't it, for Marco to keep him in this game? He's just got to back himself and believe in himself. There's a reason why this man is so respected across the whole scene of competitive FIFA. What he's been able to achieve in the last handful of years. Grand finals, finished 9th in the world last year in London at the FIFA World Cup finals. Problem he's got, though, he's playing against a player that is in fine form. A player who's clinical in front of goal. Finds spaces that I don't think even me or you have seen, Richard.
Absolutely, yeah. He's find any sort of space. You see Marco's frustration starting to build.
There's still time, a lot of time. Obviously, the one thing that can't happen is Marco can't go down by 3-0. Otherwise, the job certainly could be too big. Remember, $2,500 game this is. They're both already pocketed at least 5,000. It's all about making it to the grand final, and then we'll be turning our attentions to that loser bracket game between Dylan and Greek Freak FIFA, two very much young FIFA players that have made their mark, not just in the competitive scene, but in the Summer Cup series. Look back at what Dylan did yesterday, Richard. What, the highest scorer I honestly think we've seen out of any player in the Summer Cup series. Sort of 15 goals.
Marco is just not being able to play this game. Another free kick, another shake of the head.
You can see the frustration, can't you? Marco's trying to be aggressive. He's trying to dive into those tackles that any other day he believes he'll win. Problem is, this referee's saying, no, that's a little bit too aggressive there, and we're going to pull that back for a free kick, and it's happened on a couple of occasions. Neymar. For the double tap pass into the path of R9. You think if he gets that on his right boot, it could be 3-0, when it would not be a scoreline or a game to remember if you're a Footwiz fan. Just the way that Nazar's been able to pull this back four apart. You just saw there, fullback completely out of position for Marco. Left back pulled out slightly there, Furlong Mendy. That's what Nazar's trying to do. He's trying to find sort of trigger points in that back four. Where's the gap? Where can I get R9 onto the ball? Is this the chance now, Neymar? Oh, read by Hullet.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 2 minutes of added time.
2 minutes added time, the fourth official indicating.
Chance for Marco to have an attack and get the ball forward. Who else is there, though? Virgil van Dijk. Half-time. In this second leg, Nazar up by 2-0 on aggregate. Huge job to do for Marco. But he's certainly a player that can do that. Let's have a look at the stats at half-time here, Richard. I honestly think there hasn't been too much to call about. There you go, 0 shots again at half-time from Marco. Just really struggling to get that ball forward.
Yeah, meaning he's not really had a shot at all over the two legs. I still think it's all about Nazar's playstyle. He literally just doesn't allow you to play. Look at the game against Honey Badger, because I'm getting real flashbacks right now. He beat Honey Badger 3-0 and literally just did not allow him a chance defensively. Very similar to Tuga in the way that he just soaks up the pressure. Tuga more of a possession-based player and happy to keep the ball and work the chances like that. Nazar looks to sort of really go forward and attack the defense when he gets the ball, but defensively, I'm getting a lot of similarities to Tuga.
Yeah. Definitely think it's an area of the game that we haven't actually sort of credited Nazar on as much as we should have defensively. We've looked at how good he's been going forward, how clinical he's been in the final third. Well, to be honest, he's sort of the real deal in the whole package. Said, look at those results yesterday. That's against Honey Badger. That's not any FIFA player. And you've limited him to having really any chances. And he won by 3-0 to book a place in day 3 of the tournament. Marco has to attack, has to make something happen up top. Yet to see a shot from him in this game. If he goes 3-0 down, it's not going to be looking pretty. All right. Might have just scored a goal. That's worth $2,500 for Nazar.
You got to say, that's game over. 3-0 to Nazar with around 20 minutes left to play. It's just simply not enough time, in my opinion. Just say 30 minutes left to play.
It's a tough one, it really is for Marco. What do we say? You just can't let R9 get onto the ball. Even if he does the basics, it still is so effective from R9. Here is R9 now for Marco. Needs to make something tick, needs to make something happen. Eusebio, back to R9. Fake shot, shot comes in, great save. That's the first time that Allison has been tested for Nazar.
Again, just if that's what the shots that you're having to sort of result to. R9 inside the box, cut back, near post, smash from Ronaldo.
Goal for the visitors.
Hope for
Number
Marco.
7, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Well, that's exactly what he needed. Just something to hold on to, some sort of belief in this game. How long's it going to last, though? Because Nazar is on another attack and he's after another goal. Eusebio. Still with it. Lovely ball rolls there. Just to work his way around the midfielders, work his way around Eusebio. He's actually back to try and defend. R9. Well played, Van Dijk. You ask yourself, what has that goal done for Marco? There's a little spark inside him that suddenly believes, okay, can I get back into this?
Slow it down and just sort of drain the motivation away from Marco. You see that pause cued. If I'm Nazar, I don't want that until at least the 80th minute. He's getting a free kick. He's playing on, though. He knows that he had the advantage.
No, you're 100% right, though. If Marco can get that pause early, for sure it's going to be more beneficial to me. We'll get the pause now. 70 minutes on the clock. We'll have a look at the point of view here for Marco. And Richard, what's he changing? He's bringing on 2 substitutions, maybe 3, and I expect a change in a game plan potentially.
Nothing yet. It's just the triple change. Cruyff, Pele, and Mane are the 3 changes coming on, and he's editing his ultra defensive here as well. The 4-2-2. You see the custom tactics in use for Marco, but as it stands right now, still in the 4-2-3-1. 20 minutes left to play. A big gulp of water there. And needs a miracle.
Chance. Oh no, and scoop turn.
There's too many bodies in the way.
Back of the net, I mean. It's hard getting past Van Dijk, but when you've got Van Dijk and Vieira both going into the same tackle, the same block together, there really is no way through.
Trent, big clutch tackle there as well, because if that slide tackle doesn't come in, he's actually in down the line. Had to make that, did Trent.
Well, now, as we know, Marco's going to be sort of piling more players forward. There will be gaps that will now start to appear that weren't really there as the depth goes high. Of course, Marco did everything he can to get back into this tie. De Bruyne makes the ongoing run. It's Pele now with it, fresh off the bench. 3 good substitutions that Marco did make. Pele drops the shoulder, find the ball back inside, went for the double tap pass to sort of just dink it into the path of the Dutchman. In Johan Cruyff, able to do so. Trent Alexander-Arnold out of position. Virgil van Dijk could also be out of position here.
Ten minutes remaining. A goal in the next 3 or 4 minutes puts us in for a real interesting finish. I just don't know if Nazar will even let Marco have another shot, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's one of those. I just don't know if there's going to be enough time. Chance to make life worse for Marco. He will be down by 4 goals to 1. Marco still will be in the tournament, though. Will go down to the loser side of the knockout bracket. Will play the winner of Greek Freak FIFA and DW Dillon. If you are a Footwiz fan, do not panic. They still will be in the competition. I think that will just about do us here, Richard. Added time to follow in just a second. 3 goals to 1. And Nazar has won. And again, it's all about that first leg, Richard. How dominant he was in the first leg. Scored 2 goals early on into this one as well. And once again, the prediction king has spoken in Mr. Richard Buckley. And Richard Buckley, you have delivered.
It was just the defensive performance against Honey Badger from what I saw. I know that Honey Badger and Marco have been playing a lot of friendlies together in preparation for this tournament, and if he can do what he did against Badger, 3 goals to 0, keeping a clean sheet, I figured you potentially could see a similar result against Marco, and he just defended so well. He's conceded 1 goal against arguably 2 of the Oceania's best PS4 players in Marco and Honey Badger over 2 individual games of FIFA.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff. That's a $2,500 game as well. He books a place in the grand finals. And I don't know what about you guys on the panel, and Kyle, Mike and Jake, but Richard Buckley, one of the only people to back Nazar in that one. The man's delivered again.
Whoa. Brandon, I backed him as well, just because I was copying what Richard was going with. But what a performance it was from A. Nazar right there. He comes up with that win. He goes through to the grand finals. Jake, he was exceptional. He didn't let Footwiz Marco get a sniff at all in that game. What did you make of it?
Yeah, no. Towards the end of the game, you saw Marco score 1 late on with CR7, but it was never coming back, was he? I mean, Nazar was in control the entire game. We saw it yesterday. He doesn't care who he's playing. You know, he took down Honey Badger 3-0, dominated that game, comes in, taking on one of the best players in his region, Marco, and it was complete domination.
It was indeed. Now, Mike, talk us through the gameplay, because Nazar, he's had an opportunity here to show what he can do. He's played against Honey Badger, he's played against Footwiz Marco, and he's really showing everyone that he's just as good as those best of the best.
Well, the best way to put your best foot forward, so to speak, is also to start and to set the tempo, and it allowed a Nazar to sit back and play a little more defensive after he got the opening goal. To be fair, though, he could have had 5, maybe 6 goals. He hit the post multiple times. He did that finesse shot with Neymar, which is kind of rare. You don't see that goal that often. Fake shot turn, Eusebio resurfaces, De Bruyne finds slight turn, and just adds to the misery. You got to give a lot of credit to Nazar. getting the job done. And we've also seen Marco now in all of his matchups start on the back foot. Even the games that he won on the first day in the tournament, he conceded first. He always had to make a comeback. And if you're a slow starter, it's difficult to get results, especially when you're playing some of the top tier oppositions, the guys that are the most in form.
It was indeed. Now, as you can see right there, it was close in terms of possession, but on that scoreline, Nazar went through 3-1 to that grand final. Jake, he can really be filled with this confidence now that whoever he comes up against in that grand final, after we see the next couple of matches, he thinks he can beat them.
Yeah, he definitely can. He is the clear favorite now. I mean, Marco was the clear favorite going into today just because of his domination in day one and simply because of his past year in the competitive scene. We've seen how good he was, but now it's all a Nazir. And I don't think, is anyone going to be able to stop this man? I'm not sure. What a game that was. You can see there, he dominated. You said it was close in possession, but I feel like what we've been seeing this week, if you can get about over 55% possession, if you're controlling the game like he just did, you're more than likely going to be walking away with the win, and it's exactly what we saw in that match.
Now, Mike, let's talk money, all right, because this is the chance now for him to win $10,000 US. This is a huge opportunity for him to not just showcase what he's capable of, but to get some cheddar, to get some cash right there.
Well, he just secured a pretty good bag at $7,500. And maybe even more important, if you're just tuning in, with Nazar being undefeated, he's put himself in the ultimate position for success. Whoever comes up from the losers bracket basically has to beat him in 2 best-of-2 series with the aggregate score lines if they want to win the Summer Cup title. So he's just sitting in a great position. He gets to now watch the gameplay, see who's going to perform well, study up, get some rest, maybe play a couple more warm-up games, snacks, whatever you need, whatever you got ready to go.
Not pina coladas today, no, Mike?
Probably not pina coladas. But if that's what works for you, I'm not here to tell you what your training regimen should look like.
Right, we have got Nazar joining us on the stream right here. What a performance that was. Goes through to those grand finals. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling so good. I'm so happy I didn't have to go do the hard way to come back up to the grand final, because I always do that in the qualifiers. But yeah, I'm feeling good.
Now, we've talked so much about this old guard versus the new guard. We saw what you were doing against Honey Badger. We've seen what you've done against FUTWIZ Marco now as well. Do you feel full of confidence that you're coming through and you're really showcasing your skills?
Yeah, I actually do, because I knew I had to show my best out here today, because this is the last time at FIFA 20, leading into FIFA 21. So I was like, I just have to do my best one last ride and just give it my all.
Now, Jake, you've got Nazar here. Before he goes into the grand finals, you got any questions of how he might line up, what he might do to change, or just to keep it the same?
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, what's the game plan looking like? You got a few games to kind of chill out, relax. Are you going to be watching the competition, making some adjustments, or just kind of playing the game you've been playing all week?
Yeah, just pretty much playing the game I've been playing all week. Just gonna chill out, watch the games. Gonna support my good friend Greek as well. Hopefully he pulls through. But yeah.
And with you having so much experience and matching up against Marco constantly, both you guys being PS4 primary players, qualifiers, also the community in general from this region is really close-knit. Did you have a tailored tactic? Because I felt like you just dominated top to bottom. You had more possession play. You really took Marco out of that match.
Yeah, so me and Marco played so many times throughout the year, and I knew like it's going to come down to small margins. First goal, one mistake, and I just got the first goal, and then I knew I was in control from there. And I just sort of noticed as well that his width was a bit low, so I started attacking down the wings, and so it paid off.
It definitely did pay off. Nazar, congratulations, well done. You get to chill out, you get to make those adjustments, you get to watch a few of the games and support as well. As you said, good luck, and we'll see you in those grand finals.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Right, Mike, Jake, what a first game it has been so far. Let's look back at this. Let's see who is moving forward. The games we've got coming up as well for the rest of this tournament. It's been an epic 3 days, let's say, and it can just get better and better. Nazar making his way through to that grand final. FUTWIZ Marco going into our losers final right there. So he has still got an opportunity, Jake, to get through to that grand final and take on Nazar once again.
He does, and he is going to be challenged by this new wave. They're coming back at him. Greek Freak and DW Dylan 2 players each day. I picked both of them as my breakthrough players. They both made it through. I don't know who to pick for this one because they had really good day 1 for Greek Freak, day 2 for DW Dylan. We saw Dylan make that epic comeback, lost his first game to that man we just saw win, A Nazar, and then beat Jamie, beat Honey Badger, whereas Greek Freak lost to Marco and in that semifinal, and then secured the win over Jazz. I think 2 really great players, and whoever wins this one, I think I might be picking over Marco at this point. I really like who we're seeing this next match.
Mike, let's talk about this next match then, because we've got Greek Freak taking on DW Dylan. They've both had great days in their own respects, and now it all comes to fruition. Now it all comes out. This is the 3rd day, and they really need to show that they can play their own way, but they can beat whoever's in front of them.
Well, check this out, Kyle. No more pina coladas. Go get the popcorn. This is a potential classic. Both these guys like to go forward. They have the skill moves, and they're filthy with it. They've been scoring goals, and they do it with style, especially Dylan. We see when he's playing, he's smiling. When he's in full form, it's a lot of very aggressive defensive measures. He's going risk for reward. He's got green time, finishing, kind of bringing back some of the FIFA 19 magic in terms of your offensive approach to the game.
Do you know what? I love your energy, Mike. Keep it up. All right, we've got plenty to come. Myself, Mike LaBelle, and Jake Barford will be joining you after this short break as Greek Freak takes on DW Dylan.
Jalfonso, the man that everybody's been hyping about, will win tonight's tournament.
Mel is just so good with Mbappe.
Bosniano take a bow. King CJ.
An absolute laser beam to that top left corner.
Dembele to win it. And Agui snatches it at the death. It's more drama from the Italian.
The users.
Chance to put the game to bed. To put the game to bed. We could be looking at some more history.
PlayStation.
If someone asks you what you're made of, don't just tell them, show them. Show them that you're made of proving the doubters wrong. Show them you don't have to raise your fists to beat your enemies. Show them you're stronger when you stand together. And show them, whoever you are, you stand shoulder to shoulder against all forms of prejudice. Because when we show our best side, we don't just play the game, we change it.
The FIFA 20 Summer Cup Series Oceania is presented by PS4 and brought to you in part by Turtle Beach.
Hello and welcome to the FIFA 20 Summer Cup Series Oceania. My name is Kyle Walker, and what a 3 days we have had, and there's still half a day to go. Yes, we are here. It is Finals Thursday. We are calling it. We've still got plenty of FIFA to come for you, but there's loads of things that happen as well. And one thing I want to tell you and talk to you about is The Sims Sparked. Yes, you do not want to miss this. It's the first ever reality competition show that brings together creativity, entertainment, and competition, and celebrates the amazing players of the Sims community. You can catch it every Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern on TBS through August the 7th, and it re-airs every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern Pacific timing on TBS through August 8th. You can also watch on BuzzFeed Multiplayer, so make sure you are across this. Make sure you are watching it, because as I said, it's super exciting. Now, we are here. It is day 3 of our FIFA 20 Summer Cup Series. If you've been with us all 3 days, we want to reward you. Yes, we do. And we have some Twitch drops to do that. Yes, it is time to link your EA and Twitch accounts if you haven't done so already, as we have a rare mega pack for you. Also, a Patrick Vieira 92 rated Prime Icon Moments item. And these items will be dropped to certain Twitch viewers with a linked EA and Twitch account. Now, these drops will take up to 72 hours to appear in your accounts following the last day of the tournament today. So you can link your account at www.ea.com/Twitch linking. So make sure that you do it, because why not? We've got these rewards for you. Someone's got to be rewarded with them, and it could be you. Right, on to the FIFA 20 action. Myself, Kyle Walker, Jake Barford, and Mike LaBelle are all here, and we have another matchup for you. Mike, it is our losers matchup, but it's not losers, because they could go through. They could still win this entire tournament, and it's super exciting as Greek Freak takes on DW Dylan.
And I have no clue what direction this is going in, but I'm happy about the matchup. I'm expecting there to be a lot of goals. Both these guys have definitely came to play over the last couple days. They deserve to be here, and they've showcased their ability to have some of those intricate details, especially going forward. Greek Freak has a little more of a sit back and counter approach, and then he counters with so much pace. And then Dylan's the opposite, where he's going to be much more aggressive on the defensive end, and he's going for that risk to reward. If you had an X and Y axis, he's trying to measure that perfectly in order to make sure that he creates easy opportunities. The higher up the pitch you win the ball, the easier your breakthroughs, space, lanes of space to work with, through balls, you name it.
Now, Jake, looking at these two, Greek Freak and also DW Dylan, we saw what they've been able to do on each of their own days in Group A and also Group B. And now it feels like here they are, and they've really got to showcase that, yes, they may be in the losers semi-final as it stands, but actually they are confident and they can go on to win this.
They are. Mike talked about goals. These are the two top goal scorers in the tournament. We got Dylan, who put up 15 goals yesterday, which is absolutely crazy. 3 matches, 7 as well over the top player in the tournament, Jamie. I'd be interested to hear this from Mike. Do you think Dylan has a bit more of an advantage? He's fresh yesterday, coming off 15 goals, whereas Greek Freak kind of had to sit back, day to rest. Which player does the advantage go to there, or is there an advantage at all in that?
There's no way to be sure if they're receiving an advantage or a disadvantage, carrying momentum, because it's a new day. And we've seen this throughout the competitive ecosystem, tournaments every single year. It's always going to be a kind of I guess you're almost like a contest of who can keep it up, or it's a competitive nature of who can keep up their mental focus over the course of multiple days, over the course of usually a weekend. And we've seen players play amazing on Friday, be terrible on Saturday when it's over that weekend, and then show up to Sunday and be back to being fantastic, or they've been eliminated, or they're playing like a different guy. And it's difficult to say. I'd love to sit here and tell you, okay, Dylan's got this. He played amazing yesterday. He should take care of business. Because Greek Freak got a day off. He's not going to show up and have that same package. But remember, Greek Freak said, I'm going to spend my time researching, training, watching back the games. I want to make sure that I correct any issues that I had, or any mistakes, any minute details that went down on day one.
Now, Mike, I need to ask you, all right, because we've talked about the players being in their offices, being at home, being in their bedrooms, wherever their setup is. Do you think that's easier or harder than being at an event where you've got people around you who can support you, the pressure's on, everyone's watching? Which one do you think's easier or harder?
It's not harder or easier, but it does deal with experience. And this is what I talked about. Some of these household names that we have from this region, they would have preferred a LAN environment because they have that experience. Where a lot of these young guys are always playing online, they're grinding it out, they're live streaming, they're playing the qualifiers, but they only maybe have 1 or 2 events under their belt where they're actually in person. So it definitely gives them a bit of an advantage because of just simply comfort.
Jake, where would you rather be? Rather at an event where everyone's cheering you, you've got people screaming in the background in support, or at home where it's quieter but there's much more focus and just attention on the game in front of you?
I think I'd rather be at home at this point, especially if I'm these 2 players, because I feel like over the past few days, we've seen how comfortable they are. And so far, it's really playing to their advantage, as Mike was alluding to. Definitely rather be at home right now. But I'm waiting for that day where we can get back out there and we can be at these events live.
Fingers crossed it is coming very, very soon. Right, it is predictions time. Mike LaBelle, you're up first. Who are you going for?
I'm going for Dylan. I think he's going to give us that offensive showcase, and I have a feeling that this is going to be kind of his breakout day, and he's really going to make a run for it. Or I'm going to sound terrible here, and he's going to go out early, and you're going to then remind me that my prediction was no good.
Us remind you, Mike? No, come on. We're nice to you. Don't worry about that. Jake, who are you going for?
I love both these players. This is such a tough one. I think I really like Dylan's confidence right now. Yesterday, he just felt so confident. He even said in an interview he thought he should have beaten A Nazar. Greek Freak, though, yeah, you talked about all the research he's been doing. We'll see how that plays, but I think I'm with Mike here. I'm going to go with Dylan.
Our casters, Richard and Brandon. Let's get their predictions. Starting with you, Brandon Smith. Who have you got for this one?
To be honest, again, it's a really tough one to call. You saw Dylan yesterday score so many goals and Greek Freak FIFA sort of a mixture of performances. But Greek Freak FIFA is a player that I've always sort of kept my eye on this year in the competitive scene. He's had a huge breakout year, somehow still a free agent. And for me, I believe that he's got what it takes to win this game and to continue his run in the Summer Cup Series. So it's going to be a Greek Freak win for me.
And our prediction king, the master himself, Richard Buckley. You look a bit confused.
It's a tough one because I think Dylan yesterday showed some real quality. I think he played really, really well. But then Greek Freak on Tuesday also played well, but I'm going to go Dylan. I think Dylan's will take it. I think it'll be tight, but I think Dylan.
I promise you, I'm not just going with what you said there, Richard. I was actually going to do the same, okay? DW Dylan for me as well. But Richard, Brandon, it's over to you as Greek Freak takes on DW Dylan.
Thank you very much, Carl. Here we go then. Game 2. So this is a big one because both these 2 players, of course, have guaranteed themselves $2,500, whoever loses at this stage. Whoever wins, Richard, goes into that next round, will play against Marco for a place in the grand final. Coming into this game, it is sort of hard to call because we've seen so many goals from Dylan yesterday. And I mean, we saw a player that got better and better. I saw him tweet online saying, I just wanted to score as many goals as possible. And that's exactly what he did. On the other side of that for Greek Freak FIFA, sort of hit and miss performances, but he still was able to get the job done.
Yeah, you could say it's his losers bracket semi-final, to be honest, in the grand scheme of things. Winner plays Marco in the losers bracket final. This is an elimination matchup as well. I think you look at the results previously that these 2 have had, and Dylan with a real big performance. That win against Jamie, 7 goals to 3. When it's sort of his back was against the wall, and then came out and beat Honey Badger 5 goals to 1. 2 real standout performances. Dylan, he knows he can do it. On the other side of that, Greek Freak beat Sarge 6-3, and then it was a 2-1 victory in his losers bracket final match, you could say, against Jazz. So I think Dylan's probably playing with more confidence, but Greek Freak probably got more experience in these big pressure situations.
Thank you. Enjoy the game.
Well, here we go. Opportunity to continue your run in the Summer Cup Series. A huge congratulations to our competitors that made it to day 3, being the top 4 of their region in the Oceania. FIFA 20 esports scene. Here we go. We'll be Greek Freak FIFA from left to right. And of course, Dylan from Direwolves from right to left. Obviously, we saw Dylan in action yesterday. And as you said, saw a mixture of performances from him. After losing his first game of the day, Dylan, he was able to turn it around. And sort of, not just pick up himself, but remember the Twitch chat and sort of everyone that was watching was loving how Dylan was playing. The goals he was scoring, the confidence that he had going forward. Certainly has made a name for himself. As for Greek Freak, 6-3 win against Sarge FIFA. Kicked off day one of Summer Cup series. He did lose to Marco 3-2, went down into that loser bracket. He was able to snatch a win off the hands of Jazz by 2-1. Very narrow scorelines, but as we said, did enough to get into day 3.
Let's also not forget Dylan's sort of secret weapon up his sleeve. Ex-Lenny from Germany in his corner. On the headset with him right now, talking to him while this game is being played.
I'd love to know as well how that sort of friendship came about. Was it when they met at Champions Cup? Maybe, I'm not too sure. It was 2 young players and upcoming players in the FIFA esports scene. You heard Nazar say that this is my last chance to play FIFA 20 this year. My last chance to sort of make a name for myself, make a bit of noise heading into the FIFA 21 season, because people are going to be looking and saying, right, who is the best player this year on FIFA 20? Who is the player to watch out for? Eusebio with a half-hearted effort there. Vieira just pushes him to the floor and says, get back up.
Really unfortunate there. Greek Freak looked like he had a good chance, but little last-ditch defending from Dylan just to shuffle across and clean up at centre-back.
Intercepted well. Here's R9. You can remember yesterday there was one man that kept on coming off the bench for Dylan. We might see him a little bit later. It was Wissam Ben Yedder. Team of the season so far, 97 overall. And what did he love doing, Richard? He loved timing it green.
One of the only players that we've really seen in FIFA 20 use the green time shots. Time finishing. Just not as effective as it was last year. Last year it was a pivotal part of the repertoire for a professional FIFA player. This year, not something as essential.
Certainly with the game and how it moves each year, the meta always changing. As you were alluding to last year, we saw El Tornadoes, we saw back post crosses, we saw a mixture of things. Well, that's been stamped out this year, hence why we've seen sort of low-scoring games at times, but when you look at what the Oceania scene has brought us, we've actually seen plenty of goals. Dylan scored 15 yesterday. Going to be making it 16 in the tournament. The first one in this game. A third of this match is nearly up. Still goalless between the two. Macroqueta into R9, well defended. That's the biggest difference, isn't it, that we've seen from Greek Freak, Richard, is that Maldini is part of that back line. No Vieira.
It's a poor pass as he switched it. It's going to be a slow burn, this one. Like a candle. As we get towards the bottom of the wick, that's where it's really going to start heating up.
Sort of see that by the way they're playing. Nobody clearly wants to make a mistake, and you can understand why. There's no second chances if you lose this game. It will be the end of the road in the Summer Cup series. R9 tried to pull out a couple of step-overs to pull past Virgil van Dijk. Well played by the Liverpool defender. Stood the strongest. Chance now for Greek Freak. Accelerated fake shot around the corner, a little ball roll, and again, of course, it's Virgil van Dijk down the other end for Dylan. Chance. Maybe coming. I'll get past Sam Brotta. Yeah, as I was alluding to, Richard, I mean, as we spoke about, most teams, 90% are the same other than the odd fallback or that cam position, Eusebio or Neymar, of course, whoever takes your fancy. But Maldini, one of those players that has always been respected by pros, just when there's other options out there and other people are all using Vieira, you sort of have to have a real case to put a different player in. For Greek Freak FIFA, Maldini's sort of done enough.
Absolutely. I think the Maldini-Van Dijk partnership is a very viable partnership in terms of centre-back duos. I just think that Vieira and Van Dijk are a better duo, in all honesty. I think they are stronger, they're more physical, and they're more meta, in all honesty.
And there goes the half-time whistle, and really is a bit of a chess match, this one. Who wants to make the first mistake? Who wants to make that first error? Of course, nobody does when there's so much money on the line. Half-time between the two, 0-0. In our loser bracket. Semi-final, as you'll call it. And there you go. That's what you need to see on your screen to show what this game has been like so far. It's been all about who's been on the ball and who's been keeping possession. 0 shots for both of these two to talk about or to even get excited around.
95 and 92% passing accuracy, respectively. Very similar to what we saw in our previous game earlier on this morning, where we are, Brandon. It could be earlier this evening or earlier in the very early morning for Mike and Jake. But between Marco and Nazir, that first leg was very tentative, very tight. We're seeing the exact same here.
We're waiting for our first chance to cheer about and to get excited around. If you do win this game, of course, we'll be guaranteed $5,000. The lowest you can fall would be 3rd place in the Summer Cup Series. Not a bad little take-in. Eusebio into one eye, great tackle. That's a dangerous one, but De Bruyne was very firm in it, and he won the ball.
Absolute Hail Mary of a tackle. That can go wrong so easily. A class slide tackle.
So many ifs and buts around those sort of tackles, isn't there? If it's wrong, it's a red card, it's a penalty, and you really don't want to think about what could happen there. Another chance for Dylan now. Eusebio, a couple of ball rolls into Mbappe. What can he do? Tries to scoop the goalkeeper.
I don't know if that was the right option there to shoot, Brandon. Feels like it could have been a cutback.
Chance comes to nothing. The ball still with Dylan. You can see he's the man that trying to create all the attacks. It'll be good to know that was the first shot of the game we've been able to see. Wasn't the best of chances, but at least there's something for the statistics in this one. Mbappe, awful pass. Went for the reverse elastico and didn't find the cutback that he wanted to. Better from Greek Freak. Have to keep possession well. So we'll take the sting out of this game. Dylan had so much of the ball and Couple of chances in the last 5 in-game minutes or so. Bullet.
Nice build up.
Interchanging really well. Where's the ball going to end up though? Love to see a passing count on this screen. How many passes there's been between these two? Oh no, towards Cristiano Ronaldo. It's not a touch to remember.
What an awful touch from Ronaldo.
What a passage of play it was, Rich. Just an awful touch from Ronaldo at the back post. Someone you would always expect a little bit better from.
We're slowly approaching full time here in the first leg, which will then mean it will be a one and done to see who will be playing against Footwiz Marco in the losers bracket final.
This has been the case of 2 players cancelling each other out. 2 of our highest goal scorers in this region. Unable to find the back of the net in leg 1. Pause comes in from Dylan Campbell. Is it time for Ben Yedder? Said that his good friend in Lenny was like, you've got to play him. He's got to be on the bench. He has to be involved in this team in somehow. There is that pause. It'll be a free kick, penalised slightly. Eusebio goes into the book of the referee. Here we go. So look at some of these changes that are going to be coming in. And we are looking at the point of view for Greek Freak FIFA. 4-2-3-1, as we come to expect from many of the players involved. Is it time for a substitution or just a change of custom tactics?
Well, you see the bench in full force there. Cruyff, Mane. I expect to see Neymar probably introduced at some point as well. Here you go. Just as I said it, Neymar brought on for Pele. He thought about bringing Pele on and then thought, you know what? I'll take my team of the season, Neymar, instead.
And looking at that bench, there's options, isn't there? So many options that can come on. Johan Cruyff, potentially there. That's his moments. Looking at Pele, 99 overall. So many good players. You can just inject that piece of energy that you really need. Right. Who has come onto the pitch on the other side of things? Is it Ben Yedder in that cam role? It's Neymar. Mane's coming off the bench. He's fresh. Potentially does look like Ben Yedder.
Nice.
Across the shoulder. Neymar once again. Chance. What a tackle from Vieira.
Huge. Huge tackle from Patrick Vieira. And I tell you what, the goalkeeper movement, you're skipping across the line.
Credit to Dylan as well to even make the chance, Richard, a sort of double drag back that no one expected, not even Greek Freak. Only caught out Virgil van Dijk there on the pass. It's a long ball forward. We'll get that fresh player onto the ball. He's all the way in that left cam. R9, Elastico. Cuts it inside to Eusebio. A couple of ball rolls, hill to hill. Picking up a... An attack comes to nothing though. Once again, there's a defender in the way. Which way is this game going? Are we going to see a chance? One more chance before the end of this game. Or is it going to finish as a 0-0?
Is he offside? Virgil van Dijk on the recovery, but that's a mistake.
Mane. Ben Yedder.
Oh,
what an interception, Van Dijk. Just got a toe on it.
Virgil van Dijk. Right place, right time. Give that man the keys to my house. Because he is secure.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum
Couple of clutch tackles in this game. I mean, as you said, this game sits in the balance for the second leg. Looks like it's going to be a 0-0 end to this one. 1 minute left of in-game time. Get the ball forward. And that should do us. Or not. Is there one more chance? Oh, no. Into Cristiano Ronaldo. A couple of bad touches and passes there from Ronaldo at the end. in that second half. Very interesting from the Portuguese forward. A really dodgy touch that another day could have been a better touch and a pass across the goal or even a shot on target. But Richard, 0-0 in our first game. Two of our highest goal scorers in the Summer Cup series. But as we've said, it's just sort of both players just cancelling each other out. They don't really know how to break each other down.
Yeah, it really starts to put the pressure on now in the second leg, given they literally just a one and done. It's a one-legged game of FIFA. If you win this game, you move through in the competition. If you lose this, you are out.
On top of that as well, Richard, there is $5,000 on the line in this one. So a lot at stake. And I think that's what we're talking about as well. Being a one and done, you've got to win the game. You get $5,000 and you'll be playing against Marco to stay in the Summer Cup Series.
Absolutely, yeah. In this little pause in between the two legs, it's important to shout out all the people who make this live stream and the Summer Cup Series possible. And it's great to see the love for Turtle Beach. Turtle Beach are in part with FIFA 20, and you can win your very own Turtle Beach at home. All you have to do is follow at Turtle Beach and use the hashtag #HeadsetGoals. That's hashtag #HeadsetGoals. Put a tweet up and you can be able to win your very own Turtle Beach headset. Follow Turtle Beach, hashtag #HeadsetGoals, and you have got a chance to win.
Yeah, exactly that. Send us a tweet in of maybe your prediction for this game, your prediction for the Summer Cup Series, or just a screenshot of where you are watching the stream from. Make sure you're following Turtle Beach, tag them in the tweet, and hashtag #HeadsetGoals. You could win yourself a cheeky little headset from the comfort of your own home just by watching some competitive FIFA. But as you said, Richard, going into this being a sort of a best of one now, what changes? I mean, we saw 0-0 for 90 minutes in that period. Potentially, we could see it again. I mean, fingers crossed we won't be seeing it again. Hopefully, we'll see a sort of a mixture of goals. It's sort of everything to play for.
I don't think anything is going to change, to be honest. If you talk about a cagey game of FIFA, you just saw 90 minutes of that right there. I think potentially we could see, hopefully, the players coming out a little bit more and starting to be a bit more aggressive and thinking, I can't let this go down to extra time. I can't let it go to penalties. I need to attack the game. I need to be aggressive. I need to push forward and try and take this game by the scruff of the neck. We'll soon wait and see.
Yeah, 100% on that. As we said, winner plays against Footwiz Marco, sort of in the loser bracket final. And the winner of that will then rejoin into the grand final. Guarantee themselves $7,500, we must add as well. Lots of money on the line today. If you're looking where the big money is going to be placed around, it is today. Lots of prize distribution will be happening in day 3 of the Summer Cup Series. $10,000 to one lucky winner. And I think the story of this tournament is, Richard, there's no FIFA World Cup final. There's no playoffs this year. This is the last event of the year to make some noise, to make a name for yourself, to put it in your Twitter bio. You were the Summer Cup Series winner for the Oceania region.
I think the big thing that I've enjoyed is the sort of the spread of the Summer Cup Series. Every single region has got a chance to showcase themselves. Every single region has got a chance to say, this is what we're all about. This is our 8 players. This is our 16. This is our whatever 12 players that have played well this year, that have been the best players from our region, and they're going to battle it out for some good prize money over sort of 3 days of action. Every single player is available, so Xbox players coming to the PlayStation 4 in terms of the teams is a complete level playing field.
We are going to be getting underway for this second leg now. Loser ends the run in the Summer Cup Series. The winner will continue into a loser bracket final, where they'll be playing against Footwiz Marco. You haven't missed a thing if you have just joined us, because no goals have been scored. And to be honest, there hasn't really been that many chances to cheer about.
Can one of the players get an early goal potentially and put the pressure on your opponent? Potentially shake this game up a little bit, because it's been a little bit of a stalemate as of yet.
No idea what happened to that interval from Greek Freak FIFA. When you're playing back to your goalkeeper, you've got to be so sure and so composed. He's R9. Cristiano Ronaldo this time. Times his right. He's onside. Can he get around Rio Ferdinand? Just say Rio Ferdinand. I've not seen him on the pitch once this week. Patrick Vieira. I've got 20/20 vision here or something.
He's a very usable player to use at centre-back. He's the prime icon moments, Rio Ferdinand. But when you have Vieira and Van Dijk available at your disposal, I think they're always going to be used.
100%, and I think that's the mindset for a lot of these pros. Everyone's looking around, sort of window shopping, as I call it. Who's using this player? Why are they using this player? You know, you've had the opportunity, and so have I, Richard, to speak to pros at events and to say, you know, why are you using this player? What do they offer you? And they'll literally give you a breakdown on what they do well, what they don't like about the player. Even if they're in the team, there'll be a few things that they don't like about the player.
Yeah, you sort of have to use the players that are meta as well. So, for example, the 5-star weak foot players, the players that can offer you skill moves going forward. You might not like how R9 feels sometimes. You might not like how he plays online. He might be clunky on weekend league, in division rivals, but when you're playing at a LAN event, if you don't have him in your team for that big chance, you think, what if?
One of those you don't want to look back and say, why did I not use that player? If I did have that player, that chance might not have happened, or that goal might have gone into the back of the net. You never want to say to yourself or look back on a tournament and say, why? Why didn't I do this, or why didn't I do that? He's Mbappe, the Greek freak. Trying to find a way into the midfield, trying to find a way past the back line. Look at Eusebio. Man's a cam in his 4-2-3-1, but he's so defensive as well. He's always happy to get back. So difficult, so tough to call which way this game is going to go.
Surely we can't see a complete 0-0.
I mean, if we were in sort of January time, I'd maybe expect to see that with the overload ball side that was once a thing. But now, surely not. Chance for Dylan. Eusebio, hill to hill. Back to Eusebio again. The ball will fall into R9. Virgil van Dijk again. He's the man that's always called upon. Not for so long, though. Back to R9. Into Eusebio. Shot comes in. It takes a wicked deflection. And out for a corner it will go.
Wow. Mistake on the edge of the box. Another block. Another defensive save. And a pause cued early here. You see Dylan in conversation. Greek Freak ready to just get underway again.
Obviously, there's so many factors you can look at. They've both got the sort of same strengths, same weaknesses. When you're playing pretty much 90% of the same players in your team, exactly the same formation. Of course, the only difference being there's in-game instructions or custom tactics. Corner coming now. Ronaldo. Back to Eusebio. Could this be the breakthrough in this game? Lovely drag back. Well, it was there. Richards calling for a penalty. Referee waves that one away.
Just give us something to cheer about.
Chance to break. What a little elastico that is. Has Eusebio got the legs on him? Yes, he has. Eusebio. Back to Cristiano Ronaldo. Drag back. Chance. Ronaldo!
I asked for something to shout about. A Greek Freak FIFA doing exactly that. Beautiful drag back with Ronaldo. Smashed it at the near post. I don't know what Dylan paused for about 6 minutes ago, but clearly it's not worked.
I'm sure when we saw the pause come in from Greek Freak, nothing changed. Nothing at all. And we've been waiting a long, long time to see a breakthrough in this side. Eventually it comes with Cristiano Ronaldo, the man that had a couple of awful touches and sort of periods of play in that first leg. Says to Greek FIFA, you can back, but you can trust me in those scenarios once again. And as you always say, Richard, there's just something about Cristiano Ronaldo in front of goal.
one chance. Defense wins championships. You can sit off, you can soak up the pressure. But if you know that if you can only get a couple of shots, 2, 3 chances, and you back yourself in front of goal, you back yourself in the box, you will be successful in FIFA 20.
Maybe this is what Dylan needed. As crazy as you may think I'm sounding, just a wake-up call to say I've got to be better in the final third. I've got to do more. But this is where Greek Freak, if I can get the words out of my mouth, will see this game out in a better way. I'll have sort of a better standpoint on the game. You said hasn't felt this good playing competitive FIFA in a long time. And he spoke to the guys a couple of days back. You look at the games he had as well. We beat Jazz 2-1. He beat obviously Sarge FIFA by a lot more goals back then. But you look at that last sort of game of the day, that result he had, it was a narrow scoreline.
I am starting to get a few flashbacks as well to that Jazz game when Greek Freak was under the cosh, he was under pressure, but he managed to find a way out.
Ronaldo. Greek Freak, he scored the opening goal in the game. Watch that run he'll make again, into R9, back to Ronaldo, back to R9, a couple of ball rolls. The tackle that was needed. Virgil van Dijk. We even get enough time to make a chance, Dylan. And a time we'll be following now of just 2 minutes as expected. Wins it back and in for a counter-attack here. Tries to play back. Obviously can't play back, and that will do us for half-time. In this second leg, Greek Freak leads by a goal to 0, Richard, and it was Cristiano Ronaldo that was able to pull out the goods. A drag back, sort of got round the defender, a right-footed finish into the bottom corner. You can see the stats again at half-time. So nip and tuck between these two.
Dylan will be looking at himself thinking, I've played, what's 90 plus 45, 135 minutes of FIFA. How am I losing? Because he's created chances, he's just not converted, he's not put the ball in the back of the net. And Greek Freak, he might not have had 15, 20 chances, but when he goes forward, he's one of the most clinical players that we've seen.
$45 minutes left in this tie. Winner moves in to the next round of the tournament and will go up against FUTWIZ Marco for a place in the grand final. And also, you'll guarantee yourself an extra $2,500 for winning this game. Pull it. Watch that run from R9. Lovely pass into R9.
I'll tell you what, absolutely smashed it into his feet.
Like a shot, didn't it?
Sort of pass you see at a Jimmy Conrad pickup game.
Mbappe. Well, it right place, right time. Mbappe trying to do everything he can to stop Dylan's Mbappe on that right wing as well. Big tackle, won the ball. Straight back to Dylan, he'll pick it up. What can his birthday Mbappe do? He's not happy. A little bit of disappointment you can see on his face cam. You can understand why. This is a big game. Biggest he's probably played all year. De Bruyne.
Can carry.
Back to R9. Where's the ball going to end up? He's got Eusebio in support. It's Kevin De Bruyne also there. This is nice. Eusebio back to goal. Deflection falls back to the defender. Virgil van Dijk eventually does get the ball clear for Dylan. He's just got to make it stick a bit more in the final third. Ronaldo could be off on the left wing.
30 minutes remaining. A pause cue there by Greek Freak. He's the one initiating this stoppage in play. Is there anybody, Brandon, while we've got this little bit of a pause, in terms of players in-game, that you would have expected to see more of, that we don't really see a lot of?
It's a great question. It really, really is. I mean, I think Neymar was always a player that was involved in a lot of starting 11s. I think we've seen him sort of dripped in occasionally, but as players have sort of not just come onto the FIFA scene, but proved themselves, let's say. That foot birthday Mbappe, we know the selling point on him. Yes, it's a team of the season Mbappe, but the 5-star weak foot is the selling point. And what he's sort of been able to do in a mixture of online tournaments that have happened over the last couple of months has proved why he should be in the team. Cristiano Ronaldo, I mean, the man can sell his own sort of place in the team of why he is so good. R9, of course, we expect to see him. I think the only difference is, Rich, that we've seen, obviously, Vieira is keeping his place in centre-back, maybe keeping out some of those team of the season variants of players that
you surprised we don't see
be within a shout.
More Ben Yedder, more Leo Messi?
I think Messi's one of those who's always going to be within that 23-man squad in some capacity. Clearly. The pro's not the case. Ben Yedder, again, maybe off the bench. Slightly better, but teams are always changing. I think that's the one thing that we enjoy about competitive FIFA, Richard. You know, look at a team in November, of course, when there's no promos out and there's no moments of prime icon moments, I should say. There's a chance that could be, oh my.
Tell you what,
an offside trap that is so risky to play, and it nearly got caught out on it.
He was onside as well. He was onside.
On ball forward for Greek Freak. He's round the corner of Mbappe. Not round the corner of Virgil van Dijk. Again, that's so risky, though, from Greek Freak. We've seen a couple of players do it, haven't we? The offside trap. Such a high-risk, high-reward strategy.
These chances right now turning into gold dust. You have to take it when you come. You have to capitalise on an opportunity. Otherwise, you'll be out. As Kyle Walker says, turn the PS4 off.
There's one man leading the line now, Richard, and that's Ben Yedder. He's clearly done enough to take off R9. That's a big statement when you bring off R9. Moments R9 for Ben Yedder. It's a huge ball forward. And Dijk able to deal with it. Tackles flying in from Ronaldo, wins the ball there. Just 15 minutes, or not even that now, just over 10 minutes left in this one. Who's going to be leaving the Summer Cup Series? Who's going to be booking a place in the final three and set up a date against Footwiz Marco? That'll be our next game.
Sadio Mane introduced there, off of the bench, trying to pickpocket Virgil van Dijk.
I mean, those have sort of been his go-to subs, haven't they? Ben Yedder, Mane, we've seen Cruyff a couple of times. What's the run of Eusebio there? Doesn't want to play it into the big switcher play to left-hand side. And if this ends as a 1-0 win, I mean, I think it might be the first 1-0 win we've seen in the whole Summer Cup Series. That's including Europe. Chance to get that ball forward into R9. No.
A very animated Greek Freak. If you're lip read, you might be able to make out a few of the words that he's saying there. I don't know how that's not gone in.
What a save for Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Corner. Goes over everybody's heads. Takes a deflection. Still have a chance now for Greek Freak. Eusebio. Chance. Oh, read by Hullet. Time's running out for Dylan. Something's got to give. That ball's got to go forward.
Look at Greek Freak's last result. 2-1 win over Jazz. He's now 5 minutes away from a 1-0 win. The man's got Tony Pulis on his headset, and he's on his way to a loser's bracket final.
$2,500 more guaranteed in your back pocket unless there's late drama in this one. Neymar back to goal, Maldini. Well, it's been so good for him where Dylan's now got so many players forward. There's a chance, there's gaps at the back. Virgil van Dijk with R9 running down the back. So breathing down the back of his neck, chance round the corner into Mbappe! And that's enough. That's game, set, and match. Greek Freak will move into the next stage of this tournament.
That is the perfect example of defence winning a match for you. Sit deep, soak up the pressure, and when you get the chance on the counter, you make it count.
And the fact he's been able to stop the highest goal scorer in the Oceania region from scoring a single goal speaks volumes of how good this man has been at the back. Greek Freak wins by 2-0. I mean, it could have been 3 if R9 was on target a little bit better. And Marc-Andre ter Stegen didn't make that huge save. But down to the final 3 now, Richard. I finally get a prediction right. Greek Freak wins by 2-0. Wow-wee.
Yeah, a really, really sort of tactical match right there. I'm sure the guys on the desk will have a lot to say about that. Mike, Jake, Kyle, what do you think of that game?
Richard and Brandon, thank you so much. I've got to give you a little bit of a nod to the Tony Pulis comment that you made there. Greek Freak coming up with the W, yes, making it 2-0 in the final few moments. Mike LaBelle, he had a day off yesterday, Greek Freak, but he certainly is back with a bang.
Yeah, and Greek Freak just killed off the free flow. It didn't have that natural circulation, and it didn't allow Dylan to really get into the 1-2s, the quick passing. We saw him miss a couple chances as well that could have changed the dynamic of the matchup. But as long as it stayed low scoring, we have seen throughout this tournament that Greek Freak happily will sit deep and then counterattack. He scores a lot of goals off those counters, but he's not somebody that needs a bunch of possession play. He has no problem waiting for his opportunities and then being clinical.
Now, Jake, Greek Freak has got to have nerves of steel if that's the way that he's going to play. If he doesn't need all of that possession, he's just going to take his opportunities when they do come to him. And that certainly showed in that game.
It really did. Great matchup for Greek Freak right here. We thought it was going to be high scoring. That's what me and Mike were raving about before this game, especially with Dylan scoring them 15 goals yesterday. Well, he got shut out in this one. The clean sheet for Greek Freak. He's not going to get that rematch against Marco. It was all about that first goal. Whoever got it was going to win this one, and that's what happened. Greek Freak getting that first goal. But you got to give credit where credit is due. Great tournament for Dylan. He's got so much potential. He's got to keep his head held high. I'm sure there's big things to come for both of them in FIFA 21.
And it needs to be said, a big reason that this game ended up how it did is because Dylan missed his chances, did not convert the opportunities. He should have had goals in the first leg. He should have had goals in the second leg. He was in the right places, the danger spots on the virtual pitch, but he wasn't able to convert. And then once Greek Freak went ahead, he was already committed to sitting back. You see this offside trap, how that doesn't connect because he timed it perfectly. You see what it means to Dylan. But we raved about the offensive matchup here. And we just didn't expect Dylan not to get on the board. He didn't force Greek Freak to kind of come out of his back end or come out of his box, so to speak. He allowed him to counter, allowed him to wait for the space to open up. A lot of deep releases down the wings, deep through balls. And we're going to see a beautiful goal here in the 90th. But same thing, a lot of space to work with. You've got R9, lays it off to Eusebio, chip through ball, hits the volley, Mbappe. And the reason you keep seeing that foot birthday edition of Mbappe, his stats aren't better, but that 5-star weak foot gives you more value than his team of the season foot item.
Now look how close it was. Definitely in possession as well. 2-0 to Greek Freak. Mike, it must be frustrating for DW Dylan because those opportunities that he did present themselves and he didn't take, he wasn't clinical enough. And if he would have done that, it would have definitely been a different great game. But surely we can look at Greek Freak and actually look at what he managed to do and how he managed to hold DW Dylan off.
Well, first off, the possession stat is a little bit misleading because a lot of that possession came in late for Greek Freak after he already had the goal. Before that, Dylan had plenty of opportunities, and this is one of those learning experiences. I've always been someone who's very critical of my own gameplay. All competitive players, especially guys that have a lot of success, are the same way. And I'd expect Dylan to rewatch this and think about, I rushed this shot. I didn't need a skill move. Or I added something extra when I could have been simple. Or I didn't have something extra when I was too simple. And it's always a mix and match. You don't get a lot of opportunities in FIFA. And once you get into those danger locations, those key scenarios on the virtual pitch, you just have to convert.
What a performance it was there by Greek Freak, and we can welcome him to the stream. Nerves of steel. He took his opportunities when they did present themselves. Greek Freak, how are you feeling after that one?
Amazing. Honestly, in the first game, I was extremely nervous because I just wanted to get the feel of things. But once the second game kicked in and I got that first goal, I just felt really confident from there.
We could see that with the way that you were handling the game, the way that you were controlling the game as well, and just making the most of the opportunities when they did come. Moving forward, though, this mindset that you've got now, full of confidence, I mean, you've got a perfect opportunity, really, haven't you?
Obviously, of course I do. I've played Mark many times, and he's one of those guys that I feel comfortable playing against. So I feel like I've got a really good opportunity now to go to the final.
Now, Jake, have you got any questions for Greek Freak?
Yeah, you talked about that preparation on Tuesday. What were you looking for yesterday in the matchups, and how did that help you today against Dylan?
So I just wanted to take accountability for the mistakes that I made. So with my coach, we just went over the things that I did wrong, and I just wanted to perfect them for today, and I feel like I've done that now. So, yeah.
And you said that you're confident going up against Marco, that you feel this is a matchup that you have a really good chance of being able to win and then progress to the finals. Why are you confident in particular with this matchup? What is it about the gameplay, or maybe how you guys just naturally match up that leads you to say, like, all right, I think I've got this. I just got to play my game.
I just got that hunger from Tuesday. I just want to redeem myself and just basically get revenge.
A little grudge match is always fun.
Of course.
It is fun. Let's talk a little bit about the FIFA 20 Summer Cup Series, because this is a great opportunity for you with it coming to the end of the FIFA 20 competitive season. Your year all, this would just cap it off, wouldn't it? This would be the perfect ending, the cherry on the top, as some people would say.
Of course, like this is one of those tournaments that I really wanted to perform in, so I could approach an organization, say, here's like what I did in the Summer Cup Series, and hopefully have teams just keep an eye out for me for 21.
Is that important for you then, to get that representation and make sure that you've got a team backing you?
Definitely. I feel like from when I traveled last time to FCC2, I just had that missing like support. Like I just had my mum over there, but I didn't have like a coach or anything like that. So I just felt that extra pressure. I feel like if I just had an organization backing me, it would just be like a big step for me in FIFA 21.
Well, congratulations. Get ready. Oh, Mike, jump in.
No, I was going to say on the back end of that, because we have talked about online versus being in person. Do you notice that at tournaments being so structurally different than this event? Obviously, everything's being online during this whole period with COVID, but at LAN events, not having a coach or not having a team of people to really go over tactics, because things can become really focused tunnel vision wise. You can lose track of your games. You can lose your mind. I feel like it's very easy in a LAN environment.
Definitely. I feel like if you don't have that support system, sometimes it can get tough on your mental state. I think when you're at home, I think the advantage that we all have is we're in the comfort of our own space in our rooms. So, and we're not also in a bright room with like tons of people. So I don't know. It's just one of those things, I guess.
Well, Greek Freak, all that's left to say is congratulations. Get ready for your next matchup. You will be taking on FUTWIZ Marco. Good luck for that one.
Thank you.
So there we have it. We've got another round of games to come. FUTWIZ Marco is taking on Greek Freak after Greek Freak beat DW Dylan in our losers semi-final right there. Mike, Jake, this is exciting now. FUTWIZ Marco, Greek Freak, they've already played each other. And as Greek Freak said, Jake, this is his chance to get revenge.
They've played each other so many times over this past season, over the course of their careers. FUTWIZ Marco, though, very tough game for him to start today, whereas Greek Freak, he's feeling good. You heard him. He's feeling confident. He's got the advantage going into this one, and this is a game worth $2,500. Everyone left has secured $5K, and now it is time to crown a winner for that $10,000 grand prize, a chance to double their earnings here.
Yes, it is. Now, Mike, I want to talk about that because Nazar, he sat in that grand finals. He's watching. He'll be watching the stream now, I'm guessing, and he's going to be coming up against one of these players. But he must just be super confident because they've got to battle it out. They've got to waste more and more of their energy to try and get to that grand final. He's chilling.
And Nazar's in a happy days situation. And I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people at home, if you don't play competitive FIFA or you're not playing at the highest level, it is mentally draining. So every round that you have to take on another competitor starts to drain some of your energy, drain some of your focus. And Nazar is able to sit there and wait. All he has to do is make sure that he stays fresh, that he's not cold when he comes out, because it's important to be direct and kind of set the tone, set the tempo in matches. And I will say this, when we see grudge matches, because Greek Freak matched up against Marco earlier in this tournament, and that's where Marco was able to make a comeback and get that win. Typically, just from past tournaments, if you get a second bite of that cherry, you take advantage, you're going to eat the whole thing up. And it typically goes to the guy that lost the opening matchup. It just seems to be something that goes that way. Just getting ahead of myself a little bit.
We'll see what happens. There's lots of talk about cherries. I'd quite fancy some right now. Anyway, it is heating up here. Even in Manchester, it is currently super grey, super miserable, but it's heating up in the FIFA 20 Summer Cup Series. Oceania, Footwiz, Marco is taking on Greek Freak. This is going to be a super exciting matchup, and we'll see what happens. We'll see that, though, after the break. We'll see you shortly.
It's going to be FIFA 20 tournaments every single week. Up in the air and into the back of the net.
With an absolute laser beam to that top left corner. The next PlayStation FIFA superstar.
Neymar is in.
What a finish from Neymar.
Bosniano is writing himself into the history books. It's the story of dreams.
Turtle Beach, proud partners of the FIFA 20 Global Series. Hear everything, defeat everyone.
If someone asks you what you're made of, don't just tell them, show them. Show them that you're made of proving the doubters wrong. All the doubters, every single one of them. Show them, whatever happens, you don't have to raise your fists to beat your enemies. Show them you're stronger when you stand together. And you never leave anyone out on their own. Show them that where you're from is as important as where you end up.
Raheem Sterling has called for players and fans to unite against discrimination and abuse that's overshadowing football, demanding action.
And show them, whatever our rivalries, whatever our differences, we stand shoulder to shoulder against all forms of prejudice, so it's got no place to grow. Because when we show our best side, we don't just play the game, we change it.
The FIFA 20 Summer Cup Series Oceania is presented by PS4 and brought to you in part by Gillette.
Hello and welcome back to the FIFA 20 Summer Cup Series Oceania. My name is Kyle Walker. I'm joined by Mike LaBelle and Jake Barford as well. Now, if you've stuck with us for 3 days, we have some rewards for you. Yes, we have our Twitch drop, so make sure that you have linked your EA and Twitch accounts. If you haven't done so already, get it done quick, because we have a rare mega pack and a Patrick Vieira 92 rated Prime Icon Moments item for you. Now, these items will be dropped to certain Twitch viewers with a linked EA and Twitch account, and the drops will take up to 72 hours to appear in your account following today. Yes, the last day of the tournament. You can link your account at ea.com/Twitch linking, so make sure you get that done ASAP, and who knows, you could get your hands on that Patrick Vieira 92 Prime Icon Moments foot item. Now, on to the FIFA, because we've had our losers semi-final. It's time to move into our losers final. Footwiz Marco taking Greek Freak. Now, stressing that I took from the interview with Greek Freak before, Jay, that he wants to show that, okay, Footwiz might beat me in the group stages, might have beaten me before, but not again. I'm not letting this happen now, because it all matters. This is my FIFA 20 competitive season. It's all on the line.
Yeah, talking about that, he's done it before. It's nothing he hasn't done. He's had the experience playing against Marco. He's got the wins before. It was such a close match we saw on Tuesday that really could have gone either way. So expect to see a similar result today. Marco is probably coming off that loss, being very unhappy earlier in the day, losing to Nazar. And he wants to prove himself that he is still one of the best players in this Oceania region. But Greek Freak, the new wave, is coming.
Now, Mike, let's talk a little bit about Footwiz Marco, because we've had so much emphasis on Greek Freak after his performance in the last matchup. But Footwiz Marco, he's part of the old guard, as we've aptly named them over the past few days. And he's really been around the block. He's got that wealth of experience. First LAN event, FIFA 17 regionals. And he's had the chance and the opportunity to really grow and develop and be one of the front runners for this region.
It's wild when you think about it. He's 23 years old, and he's part of the old guard in competitive FIFA and the ecosystem that really started in FIFA 17. I really like Marco's game. We've seen him adjust and adapt every single year, sometimes being more attacking, more balanced. Never really super defensive. Defense still wins championships, but he's always got at least a balanced game plan. I like his demeanor. We've seen him kind of become one of the stars from this region, somebody that travels very well internationally. Similar to Marcus Gomes and the Honey Badgers of the world in this, I guess, this specific region, where there's been 3 or 4 guys that have not only done well locally and then regionally, but also internationally. When you're talking about qualifying for PvE World Cup, the biggest event, the biggest stage, and being able to get positive results, being able to really imprint themselves not only into this community but into the international community. Must follow accounts, must see them live stream, the details, the tips, the tutorials, the interaction, the engagement, and then of course being a member of Footwiz, everybody's going to know who you are very quickly.
Well, that's what I was going to come on to, was actually Footwiz Marco's organization that is represented by Footwiz, because we've seen that they've been able to showcase many talents throughout the years. They've been very prominent in the esports scene as well. And Mike, for them to have someone that's competing here, 2 people that were competing here, they really represent the best of the best. Footwiz Jamie, Footwiz Marco as well. And it'd mean a lot to them to really show that they can win these tournaments.
Absolutely, and I'm really happy that Footwiz took such a liking to this region in particular, always investing in talent, developing in talent, and that's a big shout out to Dan, the owner of Footwiz. He's super into esports, and something that's really unique with their organization is they get involved with some of the conversations, whether there's a little back and forth. You see talking going down on Twitter. It's kind of our preferred platform in the FIFA community, and I like that aspect because we see so many players and organizations, especially in FIFA, that are so politically correct, and you don't see any back and forth. Every answer, we're just riding that fence left and right. But it's great to see such a big organization come through and really develop the esports team. And of course, once you sign for a team like this, you have almost an obligation there's a little more pressure because you're not just representing yourself, but everybody's after those contracts. They want to join organizations. They want to work on their branding. It gives you a team around you to help you progress as an individual, help you maximize your potential.
That is very true. Right, let's turn our attentions to Greek Freak, because Jake, he did mention that he is looking for representation. He's mentioning going into other tournaments. He had his family there to support him, but having an actual organisation behind him will help so much. And he's got the opportunity here to show the world, show the esports organisations, I'm here, I'm available, sign me up.
He really does. And regardless of this result against Marco, he's caught the attention of a lot of big esports organizations. I can almost guarantee that. I'm sure the FUTWIZ guys are out there watching and they're saying, hey, we want to grow in this region. Maybe we bring on Greek Freak next year. Maybe not. Either way, he's going to get some representation next year. He's had a fantastic tournament. What an end to his FIFA 20 season. And it would just be the icing on the cake if he can come away with the win right here against Marco. And then that matchup. But you know what? I want to bring something up here, Mike. If 23, you said that's considered the old guard of FIFA, what does that make you?
Retired. I'm part of the original crew. There's not players from my era when I got started. I got started in grassroots where you could win a tournament and lose money because you had to travel to the event. That's how far we're going back. We're talking 2000. Look, the first FIFA E World Cup, which was then called the FIFA Interactive World Cup that I qualified for, was in 2007, to give you an idea.
Wow, some of these FIFA players, they started playing FIFA in 2007. But anyway, let's use that wealth of experience that you've got, Mike, and let's get some predictions from you.
It's not been going well for predictions. I love my logic because I'm completely biased because it's my opinion. But the guys haven't been showing up. Dylan, I didn't know wasn't going to finish for breakfast, lunch, or dinner in the last game. And then I didn't get anything on the board. We didn't see an attacking matchup, which is what both Jake and I previewed. And it would have made sense from everything that we've seen previously. But I will say this, and I love Marco. A big supporter of Marco. But I'm going to be objective here, and I do feel there's something about FIFA karma. If you get a second chance in the same tournament to eliminate somebody, it happens. So I think Greek Freak's going to get this done. I think he's going to send Marco packing, and maybe he's going to be DMing FUTWIZ saying, I think we need to lock in a new player.
Jake, what about you? Who are you going for?
It hasn't been the right option all day. We're both 0-2, but I got to follow in the footsteps of the FIFA esport grandfather myself, Mike Lapel. I'm sorry I had to go there. I got to go with Greek Freak too, man.
Right, we've got Richard and Brandon joining us as well. Richard, I'm going to come to you. I'll give Brandon an extra 30 seconds so he can mull over who he's going for. Richard, who are you going for?
I am going for FUTWIZ Marco. I feel as though in these sort of real clutch moments, he's had more experience, he's been to grand finals, he knows how to deal with pressure. I think FUTWIZ Marco is going to take this game. He's already beat Greek Freak, he knows that he can beat Greek Freak, he knows he's a better player than Greek Freak. Marco's taking this win.
And Brandon, what about you?
We're going the opposite way. We're going to go for Greek Freak FIFA in this one. I completely agree with what Mike is saying. Like, when you've got players at this level and they play each other like 5 times, the games can go either way at any point. And the fact that he's already lost to him in this tournament is going to give him that extra 10% to go and get some revenge in this one. Because there's a grand final spot on the line. $7,500 would be guaranteed if you won this game. So Greek Freak for me on this one.
Oh, tension between everyone on the analyst desk and also the casters as well. I'm going to go with you, Richard. Don't worry, I've got you back. For me, FUTWIZ Marco is going to take this one. But Richard, Brandon, take it away.
Well, here we go then. We are going into technically our second to last game of the Summer Cup series for Oceania. And Richard, I mean, we didn't see a great performance from Marco earlier today. We know Marco is a great player. We know he's hyped about. There's a reason why he's 23rd in the world and played in so many tournaments for both his esports organisation and his country in Australia. But it's got to be better this game. It has to be better from Marco. These two have played before earlier on in the tournament. Day one of the Summer Cup series, they played in a winner match. It was actually a 3-2 win for Marco. So such a narrow scoreline. It's going to be tough to call which way this game is going to go.
Absolutely, yeah. Very similar to what Greek Freak's other performances have been. They've not been sort of the most entertaining matches, but closely contested games. The biggest result that Greek Freak had was against Sarge. He beat him 6-3. The other results, a 3-2 loss against Marco, and then that 2-1 win against Jazz. Whereas for FUTWIZ Marco, He's been on fire, and I think he's going to come out firing. There's just something about him. I think he's going to react off the back of a loss, and I feel as though he's going to come out, and he also wants revenge against Nazir in that grand final.
Yeah, most definitely indeed. I mean, it would be an unbelievable opportunity, wouldn't it, to make it to a grand final? I think that the thing that interests me so much about this tie as well is that they're both on PlayStation. At times, they would have been keeping each other out of qualification for events as well. Look at, for example, look at Greek Freak. He made FUT Champions Cup number 2. He went 1-3 in the Swiss rounds, but Marco wasn't at FUT Champions Cup number 2. He was at FUT Champions Cup number 3, where he got a top 8 finish there, where Greek Freak FIFA wasn't. So these two both being on PlayStation with only one spot on the line, everybody's keeping each other out of qualifying for big major tournaments. And I'm sure Marco, although he said, okay, right, it's great that we've got all these new competitors, I'm sure he's like, guys, can you stop, making it all so competitive? Because there's only one spot for us.
The difference between Marco and Jamie and Marcus Gomes, Honey Badger, etc. from this Oceania region is when they've got to events, they've also performed at events. They've got out of Swiss. They've made knockout runs. Multiple grand finalists, Marcus Gomes. Marco, grand finalist FIFA 19. He's made knockouts in tournaments. They've taken it the extra step. And that's why they demand this respect. And they've earned this respect.
Got to look as well, the respect they deserve for how far they have to travel for their events. Some incredible travel days. I mean, they'll be happy they're playing from the comfort of their own homes in the Summer Cup Series. As we said, loser falls out of the tournament. The winner will go into a grand final up against A Nazar for $10,000. And I mean, if Greek Freak's not done enough to earn an esports team, I don't know honestly what more he can do, even for getting this far in the tournament. Here comes Ronaldo into R9, chance for Marco!
R9 Ronaldo. The finish that we saw him executing so much on day one. Into R9, and then just that little touch just to settle himself before firing past the goalkeeper.
It really is one of them. Marco, what did he say? He said, get the ball to R9. As soon as the ball's with R9, you're fine. You're going to get chances. You're going to score goals. It's just getting the ball to him. It's something that you really struggled with against A Nazar. It's only taken him 15 minutes in game to do it on the first time of asking against Greek Freak. That's what he's got to stop, Greek Freak. He can't let the ball go to that man. You can see the gap gaping. There's another example of it there. Here's De Bruyne. Going to be another chance. It's R9 with loads of time and space. Again, he just can't let that happen.
I also think the experience and the composure that Marco's been able to build up over the last 2-3 years of competing, this is where it matters.
You saw how narrow the game was against Dylan for Greek Freak. It was a 0-0 in the first leg, then a 2-0 win late on chance. Eusebio!
Oh, that has to go in. That has to go in. He created the chance perfectly. You put your house on that to go in from Eusebio.
Goes begging. What a chance that was for Eusebio of all people. The man's got a 5-star weak foot. If you want to use it. Normally so clinical in front of goal. Fortunately, can't find the back of the net on that occasion. 30 minutes nearly up here. This game could easily be 1-1. What we want to see is a FIFA fan. Chances at either end, goals flying in.
I'm intrigued to see how Greek Freak reacts, because the last couple of games we've seen him play, Brandon, he's been the leader, he's been the one in control of the game. Now Marco firmly has the ball in his court.
About as well how he can go into this game and how he can control it. That ball into Mbappe made it look so simple, did Marco. What's the run? Eusebio's through. Eusebio could make it 2. A great save off the line. Chance still live. Eusebio back to goal. Hits the body of Virgil van Dijk. And I mean, any other day, that goes into the back of the net. An absolute lifeline.
This game should be 2-1 right now. This game should be 2-1. Great freak with Eusebio, and then that passage of play right there. I don't know how it's not resulted in a goal.
I mean, that goes 2-0 that early onto a game. It really would shatter any confidence. Marco's got to take that as a positive, though, as difficult as it can be. And of course, you feel hard done by. You should be 2-0 up in this game. You're creating chances. You're getting into the right areas.
The important thing is, the important thing, sorry, Brandon, right now is you have to get rid of that straight away. That's got to be eliminated from your head. That has to move on. You can't start ruining on these chances. Same for Greek Freak. He has to get rid of that Eusebio miss straight away and just think forward.
Ronaldo wins that tussle with Ferland Mendy. Marco definitely been the better of the two in this one after struggling to have any shots to call about in those last 2 legs against Nazar. So this game, as you said, he's come out flying. And he has been dominating the half so far. Added time of just 2 minutes, last chance of the half will fall to R9. Here's Greek Freak into Eusebio. Can he get the ball back to R9? That's what we'll be looking for. Into Mbappe! That time, it finds the top corner. Foot birthday Mbappe.
You'll go out on a limb and say the chance that he missed with Eusebio has been made up for right there with killing Mbappe. Right foot, first time shot, whipped into that left corner on the stroke of half time. Marco will feel very hard done by to be going in at a level scoreline, but Greek Freak playing his part in this losers bracket final.
I mean, let's be honest. Look at both ends. Look at the chances at both ends. Marco most definitely should have had a second. It was cleared off the line by Virgil van Dijk and hit the body of all places. It could have been 2 goals to 0. But on the other side of that, for Greek Freak, he had that great chance, didn't he? Earlier on with Eusebio that just blazed wide and over the bar slightly.
I've been trying to figure out for about the last sort of 15 minutes when we've been watching Greek Freak. It must be hand warmers. Because he shakes his hands in between the half-time and stuff. I didn't know if he had a little sort of hand exercise that we're doing, trying to maybe get the blood flowing, maybe, but it's got to be hand warmers.
I think there's a couple of pros that use them, and the hashtag Tom is someone's a big believer. And you see him at events as well, for Champions Cups. Everybody's similarly got a hand warmer to ensure they're feeling the best they can. Move the controller. Back underway for the second half. 1-1 the score so far. I mean, it's been an unbelievable first 45 minutes. Chances at either end. And Greek Freak, if he was to win this overall, of course, still at a 1-1 scoreline, sort of just doubled his money.
If he was to come out and win this game, what a finals day it's been for Greek Freak. Coming into the losers bracket, he'll have made a fantastic run. But plenty of time left to be played in this matchup.
Sort of what a surprise as well in the Oceania region as well. So many shocks and so many stories to talk about. And weighing the balance. Look at that run from Ronaldo. Could be a chance for Marco. He's got options in support. Eusebio there. Dives in with the tackle, does Maldini. Just gets his leg around it.
Again, had to make that tackle. If Ronaldo would have skipped past him, could have been a potential foul, but the first touch from Ronaldo also. I'm asking questions. Ronaldo's had a couple today, actually, thinking back to it, where his first touch has been, I mean, one way to describe it, awful.
Eusebio. Lovely piece of skill moves and find the angle that R9 was trying to offer. Maldini once again stood in the way. You really are watching the best of the best from this region, and I think this is technically only our loser bracket final, not even the grand final.
The winner will be facing up against Nazir in around about an hour to 45 minutes time. Whether Victor taking $10,000. A lot
of prize money on offer in the Summer Cup Series. R9 still with the ball at his feet somehow. For so long though, because Virgil van Dijk straight onto him. Shorzy gets rid of that. I mean, if this game does stay at 1-1, it certainly would set up the second leg in the most perfect way possible. Maybe some time. Some late changes in this one. 20 minutes left in it. If these two
slow,
sort of vying for one or two late changes, whether it's Pele that comes onto the field or we've seen Sadio Mane for a few people.
It's very slow build-up in this game right now. The first half was very energetic. That's a great through ball down the line. Kylian Mbappe looking to get away from Trent. Marco's done well to stall him there.
Chance. R9. Eusebio. Is he onside? No, he's not. Never tell sometimes, can you? If they just drop back on. A couple of seconds delay, then the whistle goes. Hughes on ball over the top. That should be easily dealt with by the back line of Greek Freak, who for a split second didn't think he was going to be playing back to Alisson. I thought he was going to be going to the fullback. Really could go either way these last couple of minutes. Sabio and Hullet both go into the same tackle.
On the line. De Bruyne has made the run. He's made the move. Corner. Goal kick. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because the first half was very, very end-to-end. Whereas in the second half, it's been a little bit more, shall I say, tentative, calming. Like the first half, imagine the waves are smashing up against the rocks. And the second half, a nice breeze has just sort of come over the top of the ocean.
Just
and it's settled.
How the tides have changed over the day. Of how this game has slightly changed. I mean, there's still a second leg to come. Let's not forget that. All the games are played over 2 legs if you haven't been following the Summer Cup Series already. Minutes on the clock here.
It's a nice ball.
Pele, fresh off the bench, the player that a lot of people seem to use. We'll get pulled back for a free kick. Slightly too aggressive was the fullback there for Greek Freak. He cycled to the edge for De Bruyne. He can hit these if he wanted to. We've seen him do it in real life.
Imagine.
Not going to waste the chance, although it does go for the left foot for Ness. Ball's bouncing around the box. Alisson has to come and collect. Still the chances alive for Marco. De Bruyne back to Cruyff. He's fresh off the bench. He's dancing round the back line.
I tell you what, it was quite fortunate. The ball was just bouncing around. Nobody could really take any sort of conviction inside the box. Johan Cruyff brought it down, smashed it past the goalkeeper. And to be honest, Brandon, in the complexion of this second half, I personally didn't think either player was going to win this first leg. But Marco with an absolute steal, you would say.
Definitely, and that's the importance of substitutions, Richie. We look at the benches, we see how stacked they are with Sadio Mane's, and you look at prime icon moments, Pele's and Cruyff. I mean, Cruyff could be in for another one here if he can get onto the end of the ball. R9 slightly just mixed up in his ways. Mane and De Bruyne will link up between themselves into R9. This could be a great two-goal cushion if he can find it. Just gets pushed off the ball by Ferland Mendy.
That will do us.
Should just about do us for leg one in this one. You can see Marco with a slight advantage, but not cracking a smile just of yet. It's all business for the foot whiz man. And I mean, Johan Cruyff, Richard, he's had an impact in a couple of players' teams in the Summer Cup series so far, but proven his worth once again off the bench. Pele came on, Cruyff came on, and it was Cruyff that scored the goal, just dancing around the back line and finding the bottom corner for Marco.
Yeah, big goal. Johan Cruyff just picking it up, seemingly sort of unmarked inside the box. The free kick was originally dinked onto the edge of the box for De Bruyne. It then found its way to Cruyff inside the box, who smashed it past the goalkeeper. This was a mistake here from Greek Freak. He gave the ball away in his own defensive third to Marco. You simply cannot give a player of Marco's quality that type of space. And a couple of real tight chances, Brandon, on either end.
No, there wasn't there. That chance there just hit the body of Virgil van Dijk. Another day, that chance goes in. And then there was a late goal in the first 45 minutes. We'll see that in just a second. It was after Eusebio missed that unbelievable chance. It was Kylian Mbappe that stepped up at the right time. Added time of 2 minutes, literally on the stroke of half-time. We'll see that chance now. Hullet into R9. Watch the movement of Kylian Mbappe. Eusebio gets it. Half a drag back. Right foot finesse. Rifled into the right top corner there from Mbappe. But there was more to come, wasn't there, in the second half?
There was indeed, Brandon. And this was the chance. We talked about it. De Bruyne dinked onto the edge of the box from the free kick. The original finesse. You'd be asking questions of your goalkeeper not catching that. De Bruyne then won it into Hullet. A little bit scrappy on the edge of the box, but the class showed when you needed it to. Johan Cruyff bringing it down and smashing it past the goalkeeper.
I mean, setting this game up in the most perfect way. I think you've hit the nail on the head there. We saw Marco struggle in that game earlier today against Nazir. This one, he's been able to get the ball into R9, and that's been the biggest difference there. Greek Freak, I know it's a very, very tough job to do, but he's got to try and make that gap between the two CDMs a little bit tighter. And, of course, the two centre-backs have to be on literally the first touch of the Brazilian forward, because we can see how deadly he is in front of goal. Like, we saw it on day one of the tournament, Rich, in the Summer Cup series. When Marco gets the ball with R9, things happen, things move, goals go in.
I don't think it was anything really to do with the defending of Greek Freak. The first goal, he just gave the ball away in a very, very poor error. You can't pass back with your right back into your opponent's striker. You're almost saying, here you go, here's a goal, take it. And the second goal, quite a scrappy finish, dinked onto the edge of the box. The bouncers going either way, and the fortunate bouncing in for Marco. I don't read too much into that first leg. I think this second leg should divide the players and tell us which player is going to be the more superior and try and dethrone Nazir.
As you said, there's that one man waiting in the funnel. That's Ain Nazir. He's done enough to guarantee himself $7,500. He'll be waiting for that grand final opponent. Question is, who's going to come out on top in this one? Second leg coming your way. Footwiz Marco kicking from right to left in this one. In the Footwiz strip. Of course, on the other side of that, Greek Freak FIFA, the only free agent. I should say, Ain Nazir also a free agent. We could have a free agent final here if Greek Freak was to turn this one round. You'd have to say both of these two will be signed up as soon as possible.
Yeah, you'd imagine.
As soon as the Summer Cup series finishes.
The phones will be ringing. The thing that you have to consider is, though, with sort of FIFA 21, a brand new game, I'm not the biggest fan of signing players unless they when they are more unknown quantities. You don't know how they're going to fare in FIFA 21. So if I'm the owner, I'm potentially holding off to see have they qualified for FUT Cup 1 or how are they getting on in rivals, etc.
If I was sort of in the position, as you said, Richard, where I am a team manager. I think you've got to be... It's hard to call and it's hard to do. You can take gambles on players, of course, who have got reputations of being consistent year after year on different games. But if you're sort of a manager, you've got to be thinking sort of October... Sorry, not October. No, the game's coming out a little bit later this year. But sort of December time, I would say, sort of heading into 2021. That is probably the best time. You can find out how a player is going to start the season and the way they're going to be going into it. Certainly, as we like to call it, it's certainly going to improve your FIFA CV in terms of what you've been able to achieve, being a champion in the Summer Cup Series. Here's Greek Freak FIFA, well defended by Vieira. Comes to nothing in the end, though. Marco defending really well. Saying there's no way through my back line.
ADB, Hullet. The formidable duo, Kevin De Bruyne taking over from Patrick Vieira, handed the reins for the CDM duo.
I mean, he's been a player that certainly has impressed, isn't he, Kevin De Bruyne? 99 overall. We knew how good he is and how good he is in terms of in that role going forward. He can play cam, as we've already said. He can play pretty much anywhere on the pitch, can't he? Forget the Hullet gang. He's got his own gang. So many good individual statistics, above 99.
Again, the incentive very much put on Greek Freak FIFA in this second leg to attack and to get at Marco. Marco's got the luxury of playing a little bit more defensive, potentially even sitting back and hitting him on the counter, similar to what we've seen other players do.
This is nice. R9 Elastico runs into the path of Vieira, though. As we said, these two did play on Tuesday. It was a winners match. Of course, where the winner would have been able to go straight through to today's competition. It was a 3-2 win for Marco. I mean, if that doesn't say enough of how tight the game is, they both score goals, they both concede goals. We're seeing the exact same here in day 3, our finals day of the tournament. And I mean, fair play to Greek. He had to go via the long way of the tournament. Went into that game against Jazz. Was able to beat him 2-1, which was enough to book a place in today's tournament, which, as we said, he's knocked out Dylan 2-0. Stopped Dylan from scoring a single goal.
Yeah, massive feat.
It's the highest score in the tournament, Richard, coming into that game.
And just muzzled all of Dylan's threat. Mbappe just onside there.
Oh,
nice.
nice. Chance. Well played. Once again, it sounds like we're a broken record here, but it's the same thing. It's Virgil van Dijk or Vieira, the two of them, always winning the ball. Pause comes in from Greek Freak. 35 minutes into the game. What does he want to change? Maybe a slight sort of twinge to his in-game custom tactics. The depth maybe a little bit higher. Just the basic player instruction. Oh no, and back to goal. Here's Marco. Mbappe interchanges really well. Ferland Mendy.
Very, very interesting match.
Able to deal with it.
Captivating match.
It's waiting for a mistake, isn't it, really, Richard? Or just
It's literally
somebody
just on a knife edge right now.
to step up above the rest and to provide an unbelievable finish. There is that pause. 43 minutes and 38 seconds into the tie. 4-2-3-1. Of course, both players linking up with, as they always will do. I mean, this is Greek Freaks. Marco's point of view, I mean, he's got nothing to change. He's happy with how things are going so far.
Yeah, literally no reason to make a substitution or a tactical change as of yet, Marco. Greek Freak. Not making that many changes, I imagine. I highly doubt any substitutions with half-time approaching.
So long ball forward, and really not too much time left in this one. Added time off, just 2 minutes. You got to be careful around there, Hullet. Tried his best to be careful, and there's the half-time whistle between the two. You can see Greek Freak obviously not too happy. He's still down by a goal. It's been a frustrating half to make anything happen, but it's only still by a goal, Rich. This game can still swing either way. We know how competitive FIFA can go.
Absolutely. Both players have very different incentives right now. You see at half-time, literally no shots on target. Marco is in pole position to set up a rematch against Nazir as we stand. Greek Freak has to be the aggressor.
Has to make a change very, very soon, you can imagine. Now Marco is filling out up by a goal. Wants to make it a repeat of what he did on day one of the tournament. A 3-2 win against Greek Freak in a winners match, which sent him into day 3. Can he do it again? But this time to send him into a grand final, to set up a rematch against A Nazar. He's got 45 minutes to do so. Second goal. Or first goal in this game, I should say. A 2-goal cushion would certainly be welcomed. Well, at that point, you really are asking questions of Greek Freak if he's got enough left in the tank to come forward and turn this game back around. Hullet, the Greek Freak now.
All those passing lanes blocked by black shirts, blocked by Footwiz shirts.
Neymar, fresh off the bench. What can he do? Tries his best to do anything, but when you've got two players sitting in front of you, plus a back four.
Very, very patient defending from Marco there. He knew that Greek Freak had to move it one way or another, and Marco held his ground, didn't dive in.
You can see what Greek Freak's trying to do with the drag backs, the ball rolls. He wants to make Marco fall into a trap of how he can press out, and then the gap suddenly opens up for R9 to have space, or anyone in and around the box. You can see now he's waiting for an option. Here's Neymar. Again, every single time that ball gets into the box, he's just charged that. Oh, one of Marco's defenders, that time Furlong Mendy.
Defensively, standing very, very strong, and a chance for Marco to double his lead. Eusebio hobbled him, doubled the touch.
Came so close, didn't he? So close to getting that 2-goal cushion. Fingertip save, and on the rebound, there was no one there waiting. Long ball forward is Greek Freak. Not for too long. He's in the back pocket of Bendy at the moment, it seems. What comes in from Marco, the changes that he wants to make will be an interesting one. Is it time for Pele? "25 minutes left. You'll be happy just to see this clock run down. Especially knowing that you can bag yourself another $2,500.
Doesn't
a
matter
place
how
in the
you win,
grand final.
Brandon. All that matters is that you get a dub on the board. Get that prize money in your back pocket. No one's going to ask you in 6 months' time, or how did you win that game? All that matters is that you're the name in the #1 spot.
Nice from Marco. Ronaldo. A lot of space on the left-hand side. Who's he got to lay it off to? Trent Alexander-Arnold. Time that one well. Time is running out, though, for Greek Freak if he wants to stay in this tournament. Wants to send it into extra time. It wouldn't surprise me, honestly, if this game did go for an extra 30 minutes. It's a long ball forward. Can Neymar get round his man? Ferland Mendy once again trying to be so difficult to beat. Played again. De Bruyne on De Bruyne. Marco's De Bruyne. Gets the left foot sort of on the ball. Just pokes it away. And as you said, this is where experience comes into it. Big tournaments.
He's in. He's in.
Chance. R9. He can't do anything. It's R9. He was getting hassled. Was Virgil van Dijk left and right. R9 was breathing down the back of his neck. And you've got to think that should be the winner. That should be the game done.
I was contemplating the little dink over the top. I didn't think that R9 would have got there, but he hassled and hurried and forced his way through the defenders and then just poked it past the goalkeeper to give Marco a 3-1 lead, a 2-goal advantage with 10 minutes remaining.
What a big goal that is as well. As I was alluding to, this is where that experience comes in. Those nail-biting sort of finishes in matches where you need to stay calm. You need to stay relaxed. You look back on this year, top 8 finish in Atlanta for Champions Cup #3. Week after week of performances in the E-League to be the champion there. To be part of that winning team of Sydney FC for the 3rd time. Of course, last but not least, you can't forget the E-Club World Cup in Milan. Top 16 finish there. They got themselves out of the group, came 2nd in that group. I think complexity the top spot.
12 months ago, he was a grand finalist. Was Footways Marco. Only losing out on goal difference to go through to the knockouts.
I mean, it's been an unbelievable run from Greek Freak again. He should be so proud of what he has been able to achieve this year in the competitive scene. Breakout being the word that we've described this man with again and again, and we will continue to do so until this final whistle is blown. He'll be leaving the Summer Cup Series in a respectable 3rd place. $5,000 in his back pocket. Take a couple of months out, come back refreshed for FIFA 21. I'm sure he will be signed up by an esports organisation or an Australian football club. Added time to follow in just a second, but it's been perfect from Marco. He wants another goal to mark the occasion, to mark the opportunity of being in a grand final. Sadio Mane just teasing. Virgil van Dijk moving the analog stick so quick, left and right.
I'm getting dizzy.
That should just about do us. Referee, conclude this game. You see the outpour of emotion there. You see the last goal of Johan Cruyff. He knows his job done. It's grand final time for Footwiz. And it could be revenge time for Footwiz Marco in that game against A Nazir.
Footwiz Marco. Johan Cruyff stepping up when he needs him. 4 goals to 1. And not only is it a win, but it's quite a comfortable win, which could give him a lot of confidence going into that double series against Nazir. What a game. Marco clutching it up in the end.
You must say it is a double series going into that game, coming through the loser bracket. You are at a little bit of a disadvantage that you've got to win over 2 separate games, or 2 separate 2-legged matches, we should say, going into it. But A Nazir against Footwiz Marco will be that grand final. And I mean, what a game. I'd love to hear the thoughts of Carl, Mike and Jake on that one. Footwiz Marco goes to the grand final here in the Summer Cup Series.
Thank you so much. Wow, we have set ourselves up for a grand final to be remembered. FUTWIZ Marco winning that game there 4-1, making his way through. Mike LaBelle, your thoughts on that game as FUTWIZ Marco dominates?
Well, I'm completely okay with being wrong with my prediction. Happy to see that Marco has now inched his way back into the final here, where he does have to win, remember, 2 sets. So Nazir's at a much bigger advantage going into this as we look at the highlights. But this is a message sent, maybe an envelope, a text, an email, phone call, live stream. Marco saying, okay, I wasn't warmed up yet. He's shown that he's slow to start in a lot of these matches. That was not the case versus the Greek Freak. In fact, we might have got Freaky Marco here, who was able to get some good fortune, and Virgil gets that off the line. And this game had a little bit of everything. Marco definitely came with a strategy, controlled the pace of the match, and you got to give a lot of credit to him. And we keep talking about it, but being able to control the tempo, control the rhythm, does so much for you as a competitive player. And Greek Freak didn't start out on top, so we saw Greek Freak not necessarily be able to chase back the same way. Even though he does get an equalizer, it just wasn't enough as the game continued on. Beautiful goal though, we must say. Pulls it back, half drag back. Mbappe first time shot, top corner to the best corner.
Now, Jake, I was going to ask you, what was the difference between FUTWIZ Marco and Greek Freak in this game? What set them apart?
You know, we talked a lot to with Marco on the first day about how he just needs to get the ball to R9, and out of every single player, he has been using R9 in this tournament the most compared to every other player in this tournament. R9 has been his top goal scorer throughout this entire leg. Every single time he's played, I believe 2 of his 4 goals there came from R9 Ronaldo. And you got to think, if Marco's listening sort of to these broadcasts, we talk so much about this new guard. The old guard is still here, and Marco is proven. Look at the passion behind that goal right there. That was kind of the one that secured his spot in this grand final. But this next one's going to be tough. He's got to win twice against Nazar. It's going to be difficult, but what a finish there, providing that 4th goal as well. And it's Marco on to the final.
It is indeed. Now, we will talk about the setup of that grand final a little bit later on. But, Mike, coming back to you, FUTWIZ Marco here, looking at the stats from that game right there. The possession was super close, but as you said before, sometimes that possession stat can be a little bit misleading. He controlled this game, end of.
Without a doubt, this was Marco's match to win, to lose. He could have had more goals. Just the pace, the build-up, what he took away on the defensive end. We did not see an offensive mix and match from the Greek Freak. Marco eliminated that. A fantastic defensive showing. And then offensively, we had a mix of creativity and also a methodical approach. Really good closeout towards the end as well, the game management, which just should credit that experience. Credit that he's been there many times before, and he was ready to see out the game.
Right, before we jump into that grand final, we have got FUTWIZ Marco to chat to him after that win against Greek Freak. Marco, what a performance. Just want to talk to you about controlling the game. How important was it for you to be able to be in control?
Yeah, I knew I sort of didn't control my last game at all, so I had got the goal advantage, so I just needed to make sure the whole game, that second leg, was mine, and only I could lose it myself, so...
That is definitely what we saw. Now, Jake, have you got any questions for Marco before he goes into that grand final?
Yeah, congrats on the win. Congrats on moving to the final, securing a little bit extra cash there. I felt that was probably your best performance so far of the tournament. And how important is it to come at a time like this right before that grand final?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say my best performance. I don't know. I just tried to, just grind out the win there. I needed to get the win to push myself into the final. Yeah, just trying to play beautiful FIFA, but you can't on this game, so it is what it is, yeah.
And Marco, heading into this final, who do you think's under more pressure, Nazar or yourself? Because you obviously have to win a couple different, series, but you have the expectation of winning the event. Nazar being more so having his breakout year right now. I just want to know where your mental's at. Who do you think is under a little more of the heat?
Obviously, I think I'd probably have a little bit more pressure just due to the fact that I got to win 2 series. In regards to it, though, it's FIFA 20. Anything can happen in like 2 legs. So if I can get the win in the first one, then we'll use the momentum and push on to the second. So it is what it is. We'll take it one game. We'll try and get the W.
Now, Marco, we've been talking about this throughout the day, the difference between playing from home and then playing at the competitive events as well, where you've got the bright light shining on you. As a competitive player who's had that experience of both of these now, which one do you prefer?
For me personally, I'd rather play at the event, obviously. There's too many variables that can occur in online gameplay. You guys know how it is. It is what it is, unfortunately, you know, with the pandemic and all that. But yeah, definitely LAN event is where I feel like that's where I perform my best at. So yeah, definitely love LANs.
Well, good luck for the rest of the tournament. You've got the grand final
Thanks,
to come. You need to win those first series and then the second as well. But I've got my faith in you, mate. I've got my faith in you. It's all good. But with Marco right there as he makes his way to that grand final. Now, Mike, Jake, let's talk a little bit about this because it is in Nazar's hands. He just has to win one game. It is best of 3. He's already got 1 because he goes through that winner's bracket right there, meaning he's already 1-0 up going into the grand final. So, FUTWIZ Marco, he has it all to do, doesn't he, Jake? He needs to make sure he gets that first win. Otherwise, that's the end of his season.
It is, and Nazar has the momentum. Even though Marco's coming off the win there, Nazar's the only player throughout this entire tournament who has yet to lose, which is, he's got that to play for. He has the weight on his shoulders right now, and it's going to be a good game. Marco kind of, I thought it was one of his best performances in the tournament. He didn't agree. I thought defensively it was a great showing, and if he can defend like that in the final, I think we're going to be moving to a second leg. We're going to have to be playing 2 matches for this grand final. But this is it. This is for the tournament. This is for the cash, and this is their competitive season.
It is indeed. Right, it is time to recap on one of our favorite moments. Mike LaBelle has got our game highlight presented by PlayStation.
Well, thank you so much, Kyle. And we're going to revisit a goal that Nazar had earlier today. He was obviously going up against FUTWIZ Marco. He gets the win here. And I kind of want to talk about the importance of understanding your personnel, because at the pro level, it's so important to know your players instinctively and then just your attacking comparisons. So just for reference here, this is Team of the Season Neymar. He has 99 curve. We're going to see him unleash this finesse shot. R9, 85 curve. Eusebio, 85 curve. Mbappe, 89 curve. You might say, well, those numbers aren't that big of a difference, but it does matter in terms of margins. And if you're instinctively knowing these players, knowing the percentage play, you want to maximize your efficiency. So he takes an outside of the box finesse shot, but with a player that has such incredible stat lines, it increases your ability to be able to convert from there. It's out of the ordinary. We don't see a lot of finesse shots attempted, and you always want to keep your opposition guessing. So it's nice to have that mix up between the build up, the extra skill moves, the 1-2s, and then also having a couple shots just around the edge or outside of the box to kind of move into your to have it's something in your back pocket with your gameplay.
Now, this is the FIFA 20 Summer Cup Series, Oceania. This is day 3, and what a day it has been. Let's recap. Let's have a look at how today has been so far. As you can see in that winners final, Nazar made his way through to that grand final, which is coming up very shortly. Greek Freak took on DW Dylan. Greek Freak went through in that one to face off against FUTWIZ Marco. And as we've just seen, FUTWIZ Marco got the W, and he goes through to our grand final where it is all to play for. Because Nazar has that win already, he goes through to the grand final with a 1-0 advantage. So it is all eyes on FUTWIZ Marco. He's got it all to do, and I know it is setting up to be an epic grand final. Stick with us as we'll be back after this break.
Jalfonso, the man that everybody's been hyping about, will win tonight's tournament.
Mel is just so good with Mbappe.
Oceania, take a bow. King CJ!
An absolute laser beam to that top left corner.
Dembele to win it! And Agui snatches it at the dead. Ps4 drama from the Italian.
The users.
Chance to put the game to bed, We could be looking at some more history.
プレイステーション
Guys do whatever it takes to deal with shave irritation. So we reimagined the razor with the new Gillette Skin Guard. It has a unique guard between the blades that's designed to reduce irritation during the shave. Because we believe all men deserve a razor just for them. The best a man can get. Gillette.
The FIFA 20 Summer Cup Series Oceania is presented by PS4 and brought to you in part by Turtle Beach.
Yes, hello and welcome to the FIFA 20 Summer Cup Series Oceania. My name is Kyle Walker. I'm joined by Mike LaBelle and Jake Barford. What an epic 3 days it has been, and we still have our grand final to go. Now, if you've stuck with us for these 3 days, we've got some rewards for you. Yes, so all we ask is that you link your EA and your Twitch accounts. Make sure you get that done right now if you haven't done so already, as we have a rare mega pack for you and a Patrick Vieira 92 rated prime icon moments item, and it is your last chance to do so, to be rewarded with these. Now, these items will be dropped to certain Twitch viewers with a linked EA and Twitch account, and the drops will take up to 72 hours to appear in your account following the last day of the tournament. Yes, today, the last day, so this is really your last chance. So make sure you go to ea.com/EA/Twitch linking, I should say. Make sure you get that done ASAP, all right? Because, as I said, it's your last chance, and we've bigged up this Patrick Vieira foot item, Mike, so much, and people at home, they could have it themselves.
And we're seeing them in action, so it's not just the Mike, Kyle, or Jake opinion. We're seeing them used in Summer Cup Series. Actually, we've seen them used in Europe. We've now seen them used in this region as well, and I'm sure we'll see him used in the future. Mostly used as a center back, I will note that, as opposed to being his traditional center mid or holding mid, just because this year's meta includes so many midfielders that you need a little more pace and agility for some of the side-to-side movement. But props to Vieira. I'm with it. I like to see him as a staple every single year.
Now, I'm sure we will see this in our grand final, which is coming up very, very shortly. Nazar taking on FUTWIZ Marco. Jake, this is it. This is what 3 days of competitive action is coming down to, this grand final. And I don't know about you, but I'm super excited.
Not just 3 days. This is their FIFA 20 season. I said it already. This is it for all of them. And this is it for $10,000. I feel like for Nazar, he had a sort of a season that didn't really culminate to too much. He missed out on a few events due to the pandemic, whereas you have Marco, who has been competing in almost all of the events. He's had a really good season. It would mean so much more to Nazar if he could take this one home. As for Marco, though, it would just add to a long list of really good statistics for a quality FIFA 20 season for him.
Now, Mike, let's look at Nazar, because he's coming into this 1-0 up already, because he's gone through as the winner in the winner's bracket. So, really, all he has to do, it's a lot easier said than done, is win one game against FUTWIZ Marco.
I was about to say, you make that sound very simple, especially now that we have Marco after a win as opposed to Marco after a loss. He started to build up some confidence, some momentum. He just came off the sticks. Remember, Nazar has been waiting. He has not been playing. He has not been in a competitive match. So he's still got to bring the same level as before. And in my opinion, Nazar is not only under pressure in this series, but under pressure to get the job done in the first, I guess, the first segment of this series, or the first leg potentially, or you play 2 legs, the first portion of the series. I don't know how to say this properly. I'm doing my best here. But if he doesn't get it done and they have a reset, then, oh my goodness, the pressure is on Nazar, because you start thinking, am I going to blow this? Am I not going to convert? Is this double elimination about to fail on me? I got myself to the grand final. And then if you're Marco, you're even building and building and building. You've become a construction worker, FIFA edition. You are full of confidence because you're able to take that and now apply it into that second leg, or the second matchup, or the second series, and really kind of gravitate towards taking that throne. You've been there before. You've been under the bright lights. You're used to being in tournament finals, especially in your region.
That is very true. Now, Jake, that is a position that Nazar doesn't want to find himself in, especially coming up against someone as experienced as FUTWIZ Marco, because Marco's been there, he's done it, he's bought the T-shirt, and here he is wearing the T-shirt at this event because he's got all of that experience on his back, and he's used to it.
He is. And as Marco said in his interview, it's all about that first game. He feels if he can get the win in this first game, he's going to have that momentum in the second game. Isn't going to be an easy one, but he feels like he's going to be able to have that big advantage, take that momentum, carry it in. And this is the end of the season, as I said, and it's all about the momentum into FIFA 21 as well. Prove yourself as the best in the region in this last tournament and be one of the players to watch, and, get a good start, a good head start to what should be an even better FIFA 21 season for whoever wins this.
Now, Mike, let's talk a little bit about Team FUTWIZ, because we've seen what they've been able to do over the past few years as well. And sometimes I see them at events and I just think, wow, they're really representing. And someone like Marco, who's represented with them, he's played for them, him having that team behind him, it's such a help because there's so much support, but there's a wealth of knowledge there as well. Yes, Marco's got the experience, but FUTWIZ, they've got the knowledge as well.
Yeah, well, I just like FUTWIZ as a movement almost within the competitive year. They've been there since the beginning in FIFA 17 of our new competitive ecosystem when you're looking at the FUT Champions era. And I've seen Dan, and he's a fan at the end of the day of esports. He's a fan of FIFA, who's the owner of FUTWIZ. A lot of people know him in the community, so just for a reference point. And they work on every level of developing talent. So if you want to be in the academy, that's an option. You build up from the academy, you become a pro player, another option. What kind of help or promotion do you need from a branding perspective or a live stream? We can help you with that. Graphics, animations. They have an office space. Just a lot of different ways to try to maximize and try to help you reach your potential, which I stressed earlier in the stream. But that's what you're looking for. You don't want to just join a club or an organization that halfway believes in you. You want to join someone who's or some organization or some club that is fully committed to esports and really believes in you being a member of that team, short term, mid-term, long term, all of the above.
Now, Jake, it is time to get into this grand final and to keep up with traditions that we've done for all 3 days. We've got our predictions. So, Jake Barford, the pressure's on. Final one. Who are you going for?
I'm gonna take A Nazar, I believe. I think they both have momentum. A Nazar is undefeated on the week. Really, really good first game he played as well. I think he knows Marco's tactics, and I think he's gonna walk away with the win.
Mike LaBelle, aka Dirty Mike, aka Clean Mike with that haircut. Who are you going for this one?
AKA Summer Mike, what's up? Not that my predictions have been accurate at all today, but I want to go against the grain here. I think we're going to see a break, and we're going to force a second or a reset between these two players. Everything says that Nazar should get this done. He's got games in hand, games to work with. He's been in form offensively, defensively. He's been consistent. He scores early. He scores often. You got to credit the guy. Does he deserve to win up to this point? Yes. There's a reason he's undefeated. It hasn't been based on luck. The FIFA gods haven't necessarily been on his side. He's done what needs to be done. But I think it's going to change now. I think Marco's going to force a break and force that reset, and it's going to put Nazar under pressure that he has not felt up to this point of Summer Series.
Now, somebody who has had that luck is Richard Buckley, the luck that gave Barnsley his football club last night as well. It seems to be running in the air, Richard, and I want to hear your prediction.
There's no luck in the predictions. There's no luck in Barnsley staying up, okay? This is all deserved, okay? I think that it might not be the fans' favourite, but I think Nazir is going to get it done. I think he's going to get it done in one as well. I think he's going to come out strong, and I just think he's just going to get a goal and shut up shop like we've seen him doing the rest of this tournament. I think he's going to get it done in one.
Richard Buckley's going for A Nazir, aka Diego Simeone, shutting up shop after one goal. Brandon Smith, who are you going for?
I've got to agree with Richard, I think, on this one. I just feel like we're looking at a player that, as you said, has never tasted a loser bracket side of this Summer Cup series. You heard him in interviews. He said, this is my last chance to sort of say to the rest of the world in the FIFA esports scene, this is me, this is what I can achieve. And I think if he can go and win this final, $10,000 in his back pocket, a couple of months off before FIFA 21, I just feel like it's a big, big task for Marco, maybe too big of a task on this occasion.
Well, let's see what happens with that. I'm going to go with Richard and Brandon. A Nazar, I'm backing him. He's not been on the losing side, as Brandon said, and hopefully he'll continue that into that grand final. Richard, Brandon, over to you guys.
Thank you very much, Carl. And here we go then, Richard. It's time for our grand final as part of the Summer Cup Series Oceania finals here. $10,000 on the line, and two different stories we're looking at here. A Nazar, a player that has not lost a game throughout the Summer Cup Series. He played in day 2 of the tournament. It was all smiles there. 2 wins back-to-back, then won his first game today. Who was it against, you ask? It was against FUTWIZ Marco. And of course, had to play again in a different game right now in front of us. But then Marco's gone down to loser bracket. He's shown what he's all about. Bounced back up to this grand final, but he's got to win 2 individual legs of FIFA, Richard, which is going to be a really difficult task to ask from him here.
Yeah, you might not have just seen that there. We're just strapping myself in for a grand final. A big game here. Big game feel is in the air between A Nazar and FUTWIZ Marco. The match literally about 2 hours ago, and it was A Nazar coming out with a 3-1 victory against Marco. Is it going to be revenge or repeat for Nazar and Marco?
I'll say one thing, Richard. If Marco wins the first 2 legs, Marco wins the series. I just feel like if you lose your first 2 legs when you've got this sort of advantage that you do get from going through the winner's bracket and you throw it away, that sort of advantage, your head's going to be gone. It's the first defeat the man's tasted in the Summer Cup Series.
The head is absolutely rolling if you lose this first game for Nazar. I think that's why I predicted. I think he'll get it done in 1. I think he knows the importance of this advantage that he has from coming through the winner's bracket. And an early goal, let me might add, will, I think, demoralise Marco as well, because he knows how hard it is to break down Nazar. He has to score the first goal, does Marco, if he's got any chance of winning this game.
Well, I mean, let's just have a quick look as well back on what Nazar's been able to achieve in the Summer Cup Series. Currently sits 54th in the world. He qualified for FUT Champions Cup #1 and did qualify for Cup 5. Of course, that didn't happen because of the pandemic. He still got 150 Global Series ranking points from that tournament, even though it didn't happen. But it begs to ask the questions I've said throughout this whole Summer Cup Series of how much further that man could have moved up the rankings and sort of the name he could have made for himself. Because seeing what we're seeing now, Richard, he's only seeming to get better, it seems, as the season's moved on.
Absolutely, yeah. He's continued to improve. And I think sometimes you see that over the sort of FIFA seasons. You see people who start really hot and come out firing. This year, Clash Crazy for Filzer. And then you see more slow burns for FIFA players. Someone like, for example, #Tom, a player who's taken 2 or 3 months to learn the game, learn the meta, and around February time was arguably the best player on the planet.
It's a sort of common factor we see, isn't it, across the FIFA scene? Different players peaking at different times. Chance now, this will be the first one of the game for Nazir. Looking at his results, day 2 yesterday, he kicked off proceedings with a 5-3 win against Dylan, then backed up 3-0 against Honey Badger, and nearly kicked off this grand final in the most perfect of ways with R9 there. Just not enough sting in the shot to trouble Allison. But yeah, looking into today, Richard, as you mentioned, these two did play in the first game of today. And if anything, Nazar gave Marco his first taste of a defeat in the Summer Cup Series. I'm sure Marco right now will be doing everything he can to get that revenge. And if you are Marco and you're going into this game, Richard, what's your mindset? Surely it's got to be, let's take these first 2 legs sort of as the priority now. Let's focus on them. Let's get the win so it's back to sort of an even playing field, and then we can start looking forward to it. Because if you look towards a scenario where you've got to win 2 back-to-back series of 2-legged games, you're thinking, God, I've got to win quite a lot of games here. And your mindset's not going to be perfect, is it?
It's a lot of FIFA to be perfect for as well. Winning technically 4 legs of FIFA back-to-back, a double series that you have to win. I think the big thing for Marco, he bounced back after that defeat against Nazar and picked up a good 4-1 victory against Greek Freak.
Also, on the other side of that, you can't forget the respect that this man deserves in FUTWIZ Marco. Well, he's been able to achieve for Team FUTWIZ himself, and the Oceania region in the last 24 months has been ridiculous. Shot comes in again. Not too much sting in the shot, really.
Then a couple of
clean
chances.
Strikes.
Yeah, a couple early doors. And he's won the ball back as well, high up the pitch.
See Neymar there trying to do everything he could to get an attack moving. It's a long ball down the line for Marco, but comes to nothing at the moment. It's been all Nazar in this first third of the game. Remember, $10,000 on the line to the winner here. A lot of prize money up for grabs. Plus your chance to be the champion, to sort of join the winner's book. Oli Lito was the champion of Europe in the Summer Cup Series. Of course, there will be 6 winners in total from the 6 different Summer Cup Series events that will be taking place over the next couple of weeks.
Absolutely. You don't know where this win could take you with the sort of uncertainty around everything at the minute. Having a guaranteed victory, the last victory of FIFA 20 in your region, being one of the 6 victors from the 6 different regions, and also $10,000 in your bank account. It's a nice comfort to have.
It's 4 minutes away from half-time in our first leg of the grand final. If you don't understand the scenario, because Nazar came through the winner's bracket, he only needs to win 1 series of 2 legs. Okay, his standard competitive match. On the other side of that for Marco, he must win back-to-back 2-leg victories. Chance for Marco!
Huge! Huge goal! in the complexion of this final. Putting Nazar under pressure.
That's one thing that not many people have been able to do so. Kylian Mbappe. Forget for birthday Mbappe. It's team of the season Mbappe for Marco. As you said, not many people have put Nazar in a difficult and an uncomfortable position in this game.
And look, there's a lot of FIFA left to be played. But Nazar right now is in an unfamiliar situation. He's been typically leading. He's been typically in control. Being able to dictate the pace, dictate the tempo, dictate where the game goes. But right now, Marco is the man in control.
Yeah, lots of time left to play, as you said, Richard. Still 3 halves of FIFA before we technically conclude the first series of games between these two. Marco, though, breaks the deadlock. Kylian Mbappe just before half-time. Counter-attack as well. It was from Marco. Caught us all off guard. I'm sure that defeat earlier today would have hurt. He'll be doing everything he can to turn this one around in the grand final. Eusebio is onside. This is nice from Marco. Trying to build into another attack. Gullit and De Bruyne, they'll interchange once or twice. Fortunately, though, it will be Nazar Gullit that looks the stronger of the two in that tackle. Marco again. Watch that run from Mbappe. Little dink over the top into Cristiano Ronaldo. That's a chance that has to go into the back of the net. And if anyone else in that position, you honestly think it would go in.
What a chance.
Mbappe back to goal. Here's Marco. Chance from distance. Hits the body of Van Dijk. Nothing more than that.
Mr. Reliable, R9 Ronaldo. Not this time for Marco, and Nazir here.
What a great chance for Cristiano Ronaldo. Caught the fullback off guard. Little dink pass into the box was all that it needed.
Building.
Mbappe. Into Cristiano Ronaldo. Fantastic effort on the rebound. It's an awful parry.
That's so hard to take. If you're a Footwiz fan, if you're a Marco fan. So hard to take.
I mean, what is the save from Alisson Becker? Where's he parrying it to? There's only one place he's parrying it to, and it's the feet of a striker that's so deadly in the box. It's a fortunate finish, but one that will certainly be welcomed by Nazar in a grand final with so much on the line.
Tell you what I'm impressed by, though. Marco, no reaction whatsoever, just a sip of water. He knows, look, that might have gone against me. But he's still switched on. There wasn't a reaction. There wasn't a laugh or a shout. It was, okay, that's gone against me. I'll get everything back. Everything comes round in circles. It will always balance itself out.
So look at what he's been able to create in this game, Richard. 2 fantastic chances that was able to score one of them. To be fair, I mean, he could have had 2 goals easily. He had another chance in the first half, didn't he, that was saved. Oh, Nazar. Ronaldo. Into Neymar now. This could be an unbelievable turnaround if he can find the back of the net. Gullit. Back to Mbappe. Pass just slightly too heavy for the Dutchman. It was played behind him. He was unable to react. Well, Mendy pulled completely out of position there by Mbappe. Done exactly what Marco wanted him to do. Kevin De Bruyne, proving why he is very much a capable CDM. Will be continued to be backed, I'm sure. Wonder what tournament's up after this one. It's South America, Friday to Sunday this week in the Summer Cup Series.
He's in there.
Mbappe back to Hullet. Back to Neymar. Can he find that pass to R9? He's got to be patient if he wants to find him. Look how many red shirts around in the way. Nice. Mbappe. R9. Neymar. All involved. And I think it was even too fast for Nazar, that. The way that attack was building.
That was nice on the edge of the box. A one-touch passing, Brandon. Something we've seen quite a lot from him, to be honest, in his games.
Marco. Well read by Ruud Hullet. We will get the last chance of the game, or will it be a 1-1 draw? And into the second leg with everything to play for. As we said, Marco must win the first two-legged match to continue the series and to take it into another two-legged game, because he's come through the loser bracket. For Nazar, he does it in just a two-legged game. The first match will be $10,000 in the back pocket, and he will be crowned the champion of the Summer Cup Series for this region. De Bruyne back to R9 on the finesse from distance, and nothing more than a save from Alisson.
He creates the chances really well on the edge of the box, just waiting for the space to open up.
This is it, last chance of the game. Added time of just 2 minutes in front of us now. Marco in possession. I think that will probably just about do us. 2 minutes have been played. And that is it, full time in leg number 1 of our grand final. For the Oceania region, does close as a 1-1 draw in the end. Marco got us going with Mbappe. Wasn't for birthday Mbappe, it was team of the season Mbappe that got the first goal. And to be honest, looking back on the game at the big chances, another day, Marco probably leaves this game by 2-1.
Yeah, that volley with R9, a real big opportunity for him. Nazar had a couple of half chances. The goal that he actually did score, I think out of all the chances he created, was one of the worst ones. It was a very, very awful save from the goalkeeper, really. Parried it straight into R9's feet. But the chances sort of going either way, Brandon, in that first leg of our grand final.
It has indeed. And of course, these tournaments would not be possible without our fantastic sponsors. And I think it's about time that we give a shout out to Turtle Beach right now. Of course, the Summers Cup Series Oceania is brought to you in part by Turtle Beach. And you guys can win yourself a Turtle Beach headset at home. What you've got to do is follow at Turtle Beach on Twitter and use the unique hashtag headset goals. You have to do both of those steps to have a chance of winning a headset. Okay, of course, it'll be a random giveaway, and fingers crossed, hopefully we'll see some of you guys online. Send us a picture if you're watching the stream, your favourite for this grand final. Do you think Marco's going to win? Do you think Nazar's going to win? Let us know. Follow Turtle Beach, tag Turtle Beach, and use the hashtag headset goals for your chance to win.
The first leg is over in our grand final. Let's have a look at some of the biggest moments from that 90 minutes of FIFA. It was Footways Marco breaking the deadlock just before half-time. Trent Alexander-Arnold into Mbappe. If you are joining us here, this is what you missed in the first leg of our final. Mbappe whipped into Eusebio, back to Mbappe, who slotted past the goalkeeper. That was Nazar's reaction to him conceding that goal, but another chance here for Marco. Dinked over the top. Cristiano Ronaldo feathering it with the shot power of a small child. Had to get more on it. Poor strike from Cristiano Ronaldo. And Brandon, very unfortunate with this goal.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? It wasn't a great parry from Alisson at all. And when you give R9 a sniff in the box, you know there's going to be danger. And that was into the back of the net. Those were the couple of best chances we saw. But Cristiano Ronaldo with an unbelievable chance there for Marco. There was also another chance with R9 late on into that game where it could have easily been a different scoreline.
Absolutely, yeah. There's plenty of opportunities. And moving into this second leg now, we'll sort of bring you the story of the final. If Nazar wins this second leg of FIFA, he is the champion. If Marco wins it, then the series is tied up 1-1, and we will play a decisive two-legged match of FIFA.
It's as simple as that. Must-win game. For Marco, if he wants to continue this series, or if Nazar's to win it, it will be all done and dusted. That will be the Summer Cup Series. Oceania. Done, concluded, however you want to say it. And he will be your champion, picking up $10,000 alongside being that #1 name, leaving this scene, heading into FIFA 21. Early start maybe in this one, went for the drag back of R9. Vieira got just something on it.
Just did enough, didn't you, at the back there? Patrick Vieira.
Of course, Nazar kicking from right to left in this one in the white strip. As expected, Marco in that FUTWIZ jersey that's in the game of FIFA 20. A handful of esports kits were added into FIFA Ultimate Team.
Yeah, it's a great addition. Been in for a couple of years now. All the esports kits in the game, and as more esports teams enter the FIFA scene, more kits will be going in.
Neymar. Back to R9. Who's going to get the breakthrough in this game? Back to R9 again, it will go. Tries to just scoop turn round Ruud Gullit. Fortunately, that was not possible. Something we've seen again, and we'll see it again and again over the next couple of weeks, and even in this match. You have to have something different in your arsenal, so to speak, when you're going up against Gullits and Vieiras and Virgil van Dijk's, because a simple scoop turn 9 times out of 10 or a fake shot, it's not going to work around them. It has to be something that's going to give you just that extra yard, a ball roll, an elastico, a la croqueta. Something that isn't readable. Another chance to build into here. Neymar wants to get things moving. He's got Mbappe on that right-hand side in support. Gullit also an option. A little triangle that has been formed between Zambrotta, Neymar, Gullit. Switch out to De Bruyne. As you can see, R9 just sort of hiding at the moment.
Hiding or luring into a false sense of security.
Lovely little fake pass inside into De Bruyne. Eventually comes to nothing in the end. You can see how tight this is. Every single pass being matched up. Every single chance being hard to come by. Every single time that ball goes anywhere near the box, you have seconds on it. If you're lucky, that is. Prime example of it there. Plays straight onto you, R9. Can you get that through ball? Into Mbappe, back to Eusebio. What a save. An unbelievable save to send that out for a corner.
Big chance, Brandon, right there. Big chance. Going, begging for Marco. And who do you think this favours as the clock starts to dwindle down? For me, I think it's Nazar.
I feel like it's tough, isn't it? To be fair, I don't really even know which way I think this game's going to go. Ago goes in for Marco, then next thing you know, sort of The game is swayed again, and it's Nazar that starts to feel slightly uncomfortable. Tell you what, 2 players out of the game there. Could be a centre-back out of the game as well. If Eusebio can do enough to pull out Vieira, he has. Vieira's out of position. Mendy trying to cover up for the danger. This is where the gaps start to appear. It's got to be moved quickly. Eusebio with it. Vieira recovers well.
If Nazar scores,
does enough.
In my personal opinion, it's game over. Although he's not playing great at the minute, he's gave away possession 3 or 4 times, unfamiliarly from what we've seen.
Marco. Made it with his back sort of facing the wrong way. It's such a simple mistake to do, but you can understand how much pressure both of these two are feeling right now. Mistakes are only natural. Such a big game.
It's a great ball.
Into Neymar it will go. This could be a chance for Nazar. Watch the edge of the box.
He's done well to read that as Marco. He switched on to Kevin De Bruyne, saw the danger, and got back.
It's been on point from both of these two, isn't it? The way they've been able to read each other in the final third at both ends. Every misplaced pass, the player switching, one of the key parts here. You can see Hullet on position at the moment. Now Virgil van Dijk. Chance for Nazar. Can he whip the ball across? It's Hullet. Can he whip it inside? It's a big toe. It's a big right boot from Virgil van Dijk. Half time.
Tell you what, very, very nervy right now. Very tense as we approach potentially our last half.
Look at that. There's nothing to cheer about in terms of chances. Nazar has struggled to do anything in this one. 0 shots at half-time. Definitely feel like Marco has been the stronger of the two.
Well, Nazar has had the possession, 57%, but not registered a shot at all. I think I spoke about this yesterday and the day before as well. In FIFA, you have spells where you're just on top and you feel like everything's going your way. The touches, it might be 5, it might be 10, it might be 15 minutes of a particular game. The little bounces, the second balls, everything's going your way. The refereeing decisions. For Marco, that was at the end of that half, I think. For about 10 minutes, he had a couple of chances where he was winning the ball back high up the pitch. He was getting it back. And he's not managed to score out of the good play that he had. So for me, Nazar will be thinking, have I weathered the storm a little bit?
There's always sort of phases in the game, isn't there, where you feel a little bit more under pressure. Also seems to be the often case where both halves give you different stories. Seen it a couple of times throughout the Summer Cup series. The first half is just full of goals and loads of attacks. The second half, things just sometimes calm down. Maybe we can see the opposite here. Chance for Nazar. R9 dropping the shoulder. A couple of ball rolls coming out. Chance round the corner. Goes for the cutback inside. Well read by Allison. Dives out, collects the possession.
Did well to get into the area though, didn't he? Lovely 45-degree fake shot down the line. You wait for the double tap.
Marco does enough once again. Cristiano Ronaldo with the comeback. It's blocked.
Patrick Vieira, right place, right time. Ronaldo won the 50-50.
Bounced off the chest of the Frenchman. It's a great idea by Marco. I mean, it's such a tight angle for Ronaldo to go on his own. He had to lay it off somewhere. Played it out to R9. Chance down the other end straight away. Oh, red again. Every single tackle has been superb from Marco.
It's squeaky bum time right now for both of these two players. 30 minutes remaining.
No one wants to make that mistake. It could cost Nazar. Or Marco. $10,000 on the line in this one. Chance to call yourself the champion of the Summer Cup Series for your region. Chance. R9. Fake shot inside.
Tackle.
Great tackle, Virgil van Dijk again.
I'm telling you, the momentum has switched now in the game. I feel like it's gone Azir's way. The 50-50s, the bouncers, they're going towards him now. And the question is it going to last until the 90th minute? Is he going to be able to create a chance?
He's made a pause. Is it time for those substitutions that we've become accustomed to seeing from him? "22 minutes left. Chance. Eusebio. Oh, 9! With maybe the biggest goal of the Summer Cup Series. That could be a $10,000 goal.
What a finish. Ronaldo Nazario. Made by Eusebio. Smashed into that near post. I've been speaking about it for the last 15-20 minutes since half-time. He's been weathering the storm. He's been soaking up the pressure. And like a sponge in one release, he squeezed it and he found a goal.
And how does that change this game, I hear you ask? As we said, if Nazar wins this on just one series of 2 legs, it's job done. He will beat your Oceania Summer Cup Series. Got to get my words out. In the last couple of minutes here, 22 minutes left. Are we about to see a new name emerge from this scene? A new player to take the crown? Or has Marco got a reply? 21 minutes left to see that reply if he's got one.
Ronaldo Nazario. Poetic that Marco's most clutch player in this entire summer series is potentially the player to send him out.
This is where the press starts coming in from, Marco. You can imagine the change to his custom tactics. Perfect way to go into the pause for Nazar. It's a score and a goal. I mean, it would be R9, wouldn't it, that write his name into the history books.
It's do or die right now. You saw in the bottom right corner. Striker drop back, I think turned off. Team press turned on. 15 minutes. Attack the game. If your foot whiz, Marco.
Just has to, doesn't it? Wants to take this into extra time to take it that extra step further. Cruyff, well read again. Van Dijk's there. That is only 2-1. Speaks volumes of how tight the contested this match has been. Problem both of these two have now got. They've both brought on fresh substitutions. Marco's got to have to deal with a fresh Sadio Mane. Chasing down at his left back in Ferland Mendy.
He'll be thinking, Marco, how on earth have I not scored in this particular leg? The one cleared off the line. The one from Ronaldo with no shot power.
I think if anything, he looks back to that first leg and says, could have had another goal there, and my goalkeeper fancied put a little bit more power into his save. It could be a different story. Here's Johan Cruyff, takes a deflection.
And again,
off the face, I think it was that time of Van Dijk.
The centre backs looking everything and anything that's coming their way.
Eusebio wins a corner. 6 minutes left in this one. Mendy. Out to De Bruyne.
Hold on.
Comes to nothing more than that. Last chance to get the ball forward for Marco. He wants to take this into extra time. Cruyff. Can he find the run of R9? He was just delaying and delaying and delaying. Fortunately, they delayed it slightly too long. Could be through, could be game over. Sadio Mane, he's got Eusebio in support. Goes down to ground. It's going to be a pen.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's not going to be the end to this game that he would have wanted. Hullet steps up to conclude the game. He will conclude the game.
Game, set, and match. Nazar with a repeat performance of what we saw earlier on today. He beat Marco 3-1 in the winners bracket semi-final. And he's leading 3-1 yet again.
Unfortunately, that'll be the end of the road for Marco. Again, it will not leave empty-handed. $7,500 in his back pocket. It won't mean anything to him for the first 24 hours, though. He wants to be the champion of this region. He wants to be that #1 name from what he's achieved this year.
And just the small margins simply haven't gone with Footwiz Marco in this game.
He should certainly be proud of Richard. 23rd in the world, he'll finish the year, but there will be a new name that will come out of this region. Nazar, congratulations. You are the Oceania Summer Cup Series champion. A huge congratulations to this man. A man that, as I said, feels like he's got so much to prove. Currently a free agent, I believe. You know, we saw him at Foot Champions Cup #1, Foot Champions Cup #5. We could only imagine how good he would have been there. But Marco said it the best way possible. Yes, it's not the way he wanted to end this final, but there's new names coming out of this region that must be taken seriously.
And in FIFA esports, it's all about the small margins. In this particular Summer Cup series, they will with Nazar. He will be your Summer Cup champion. $10,000 are going to him and the #1 spot of being a champion. That's it from myself and Brandon. We'll be back throughout the rest of the Summer Cup series, throughout South America and North America, and also the Middle East and Africa region. But for one final time, let's head back to Kyle, Jake, and Mike.
Richard and Brandon, thank you so much right there. Wow. Nazar coming up with the W. Mike LaBelle, what did you that game?
I mean, it just reassures once again that Nazar deserves everything that's been coming to him in this tournament. He's been getting the results. He stays undefeated. Not only beats Marco once, but then beats him again. Obviously, we had the double eliminations, and we just got to give him a congratulations. You got to think for FIFA 21, he's going to be a hot commodity as well in terms of organizations and teams that want representation from this region.
Now, Jake, Nazar has cemented that position of Oceania champion. Yes, the FIFA 20 Summer Cup Series Oceania champion. And what a way to do it, because I'm not sure which way it was going to go during that game. And then all of a sudden, he comes out on. Jake, what did you make of his performance?
Yeah, he fell behind Marco with the early goal, courtesy of Kylian Mbappe. Nice finish right there to get things started right before the end of the first half in game 1. And then from there on out, it was Nazar. He took over, and who else but R9 Ronaldo? We've seen him time and time again securing the bag. I mean, R9 Ronaldo, he deserves like so much praise throughout this whole season. He's a man we've seen over and over again. The finishing, Marco a bit unlucky in this one. He played really well in the previous game against Greek, defended so well in that first leg. You could see him inside in that final third making save after save, and then there it is, the first goal that sparked everything for Nazar. And we can speak so much about him, but this entire region in general, I think it's just impressed each and every one of us so much. And overall great performance from Nazar. And in game number 2 is when he sort of took over, and there's R9 as well. That's actually another result right there from him. Mike LaBelle, what are your thoughts on that?
I'll tell you right now, I'm quick selling Alisson if I'm looking at Footwiz Marco after that Perry situation, because he did nothing wrong defensively there. Marco defended perfectly. Maybe a slight mistake. He shoots it straight into the hands of Alisson, but he parries it into the path of R9. It's kind of been the story. This was a frustration foul from Marco. I mean, the game was pretty much over at that point. He might have had one more attack if he was lucky. Of course, Nazar finishes the penalty kick, adds a little insult to injury. That's a GG. Moving on. And not a bad week in office, or a few days in the office. $10,000 seems pretty good to me. I don't know about you guys, but congratulations to Nazar. Stays undefeated. I still don't know where he's playing from. We talked about it before, where he's got kind of the brick background. I don't know what room that is in his home. I don't see a bed, so I don't think it's the bedroom, but I am curious, and I don't think he's going to be leaving there anytime soon. But congratulations. Deserve the result. Nobody could take this away from him. And just to reiterate, this has to be one of the marquee players. If you're looking to get involved in this region, you want representation, you're looking for new players. If you're an organization, you're a club for FIFA 21, he's made a case for himself.
Now, Mike LaBelle, I just want to talk to you a little bit about FIFA 21, because actually this is a huge opportunity for Nazar to really showcase on the world stage what he's capable of. He's done it here at the FIFA 20 Summer Cup Series, but getting to those events, it's a completely different experience. And now he's got this confidence. We might see him up there. We might have him on the chairs next to us. We might be interviewing him in person, giving him the trophies in person as well, because I think he's going to go far next year.
Well, he's had a taste of a FUT Champions Cup this year. He's now won the Summer Cup Series, of course. You got to be building. And this is really his first competitive year. If you heard him when we interviewed him a couple days ago, Nazar was saying, last year I got started, I was taking it very serious, but I forgot to sign up. I forgot to register. I couldn't qualify for events. I couldn't get myself verified. So this is truly his first complete year looking to be a competitive player. And it's kind of wild when we think about it. There's so many guys that fall into these 16 to 20-year-old range that are just making runs. They're making a name for themselves, and they can do so much in just 1 year of success.
Now, this would normally be the part at the tournaments where I've got the trophy next to me. I'm interviewing our winner and I can hand them to it. But obviously, with everything that's happening, we've just got to welcome them to the stream. So welcome Nazar, our FIFA 20 Summer Cup Series champion here in Oceania.
Thank you.
I heard a sigh of relief in my ears, and I think it came from you. How are you feeling after that game?
Oh, I'm glad it's over, honestly. Marco gave me a much tougher game this time, the one we versed earlier. But yeah, I was on the edge of my seat. Those block shots at the end, man, it was crazy. But yeah, we got the job done.
It was very, very... Was there any point that you thought, oh no, Marco's going to get one back here, we're going to go into a third game, he's going to take me all the way?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The outside of my right hand was so cold, and I was so shaky defending. I was just so nervous, and I just didn't want to go to a second best of the two. So I just wanted to get the job done there, and I'm just glad I got it done. But he gave me a hell of a game.
Now, Jake, Nazar managed to keep those nerves down. He managed to get it done. Have you got any questions for him?
What's this mean to you, man? Congratulations, first off. Incredible performance throughout the entire tournament, going undefeated. What does this mean to you to end the FIFA 20 season like this?
It means a lot. My first eligible competitive season. I didn't get to compete last year because of I didn't get to register in time. But yeah, just like my first actual competitive season to actually be crowned Oceania champion, it's unbelievable. Honestly.
And heading into FIFA 21, to build off of that, what are your goals? What are you looking to accomplish in the following competitive year? You said this is your first season. You've had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of success stories. You've been able to get to major events, that you win the summer series. What's happening for FIFA 21?
Well, I just hope that all the orgs and coaches and all that out there that are looking for someone to like manage and things like that just saw how well I played this week, and I just hope that I can get a org before FIFA 21 and also maybe a coach as well to just keep me calm and just help me with some tactics here and there. But yeah.
So is that the next step for you? Is that how you're going to take it to that next level? You want representation, you want to work with a coach, and you want to hopefully conquer the world. Now you've conquered Oceania.
Yes, that's definitely the next step, yeah.
Well done to you, Nazar, our FIFA 20 Summer Cup Series Oceania champion. A huge congratulations to you. Well done. Enjoy your time. Enjoy the $10,000 as well. You've definitely earned it.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Right there, all of our competitive FIFA is done and dusted. Mike LaBelle, Jake Barford, what a 3 days it has been. We need to go back. We need to recap all of this. Mike, we're nearly done. What have you made of it?
I mean, I'm happy that we got to see so much good quality gameplay. We didn't have many of those nasty grind out games. There were a couple, but that's to be expected at any competitive tournament. But for the most part, back and forth, high scoring. We really didn't see clean sheets. And I like that this was a great opportunity for so many different players from this region to get additional time on screen that they don't necessarily get. Because even when you're looking at the big international events, not every one of those games is going to be broadcasted. Yes, you can pick and choose what you want to watch and when you want to watch it. But in terms of having Brandon and Richard or Mark and Dan speaking over your game, the ins and outs, it's going out to the world. It's on EA's Twitch channel. That doesn't happen as often until you get much later stages of the tournament that you can really solidify that position. So this was a great look, a great showcase, a great tryout for many, and you got to display what you're capable of. And that's what Nazar was saying. Hey, I'm here. Sign me up. I want to coach. I want representation. I'm ready for FIFA 21. This is my first year. I have not peaked. Who wants to get on board the Nazar train?
Now, somehow we've managed to whittle it down from all the exciting FIFA we've had throughout the day. We've managed to get our precision play of the day presented by Gillette. Mike LaBelle, talk us through it.
As always, I've got you covered, Kyle. We're looking at the precision play of the day. And I want to review this goal that the Greek Freak scored. And he's just opening up some space. It's a beautiful skill move right there to start everything out, where you're seeing the fake Rabona. And this is all about baiting mistakes and then coordinating the timing. So you see Mbappe is going to be making this run. He has the ball with Eusebio, and he's got to think, how can I buy enough time for Mbappe to get into the most ideal position? It's almost as if we're reading the same novel. You're on the same page. He's going to use a half drag back, which is a universal skill move. You see Mbappe reposition, comes towards the ball, and then he hits it first time. Top corner, the best corner. It's a thing of beauty, and that's why I have it as our precision play of the day, and what it meant for him in that match as well, because he was down a goal. So he did that under pressure, which is always impressive, and I take it into equation when we're looking at different clips. Did you score this when you already had a 4 or 5 goal lead, or are you converting when you need it? When all the pressure's on you, you've got the weight of everything on your back. Even though it didn't work out for the Greek Freak in that matchup against Marco, in that moment, it was crucial for him.
Jake, do you love the top corner just as much as Mike does? Because when he talks about it, he's so passionate.
I don't think so. I think with that pad, with the way he's speaking, yeah, I don't know. Definitely not. Mike's got Mike.
Yeah, let's put Jake in goal, and then I'll hit the top corner, and you're gonna see a whole different level of celebration.
Oh, I don't know about that. Right. I'm close to 6'3". I think I can mark.
Oh, you just want to put your height out there? Okay, I'll feel short between you three as well. I don't care. Jake's taller than me. Kyle's taller than me. What's up? I'm good to go.
Hey, so you got the fresh haircut, Mike. You got the fresh haircut. Right. Let's have a look at how we crowned our champion. Yes, the road for A Nazar. Let's have a quick look at our bracket from today. A Nazar taking that win against FUTWIZ Marco, which took him all the way to that grand final. And then we saw Greek Freak taking on DW Dylan, and that meant in our losers final we had FUTWIZ Marco taking on Greek Freak, with FUTWIZ Marco coming out on top. He had it all to do. He had to win 2 series of FIFA 20, and he couldn't manage to do it, unfortunately, as A Nazar got that first win, which means he is our FIFA 20 Summer Cup Series Oceania champion right there. What a 3 days it has been. It's been incredible fun. We've had lots and lots of laughs along the way, plus some exciting FIFA, and we've had some great goals. Yes, we have, and we've somehow, I don't know how we've managed to do this, but we've whittled it down to our top 5 goals of the day.
He will be kicking from right to left in this one in the white strip with, of course, Marco repping the FUTWIZ colours. Back to goal R9 early on. Hello. We're only 9 minutes into this one, and the goals are flying in from R9 Ronaldo.
And the perfect start for Nazir.
Marco has to attack, has to make something happen up top. Yet to see a shot from him in this game. If he goes 3-0 down, it's not going to be looking pretty. R9 might have just scored a goal that's worth $2,500 for A Nazar.
You got to say that's game over.
Chance round the corner into Mbappe, and that's enough. That's game, set, and match. Greek Freak will move into the next stage of this tournament. Just teasing. Virgil van Dijk moving the analog stick so quick, left and right.
I'm getting dizzy.
That should just about do us. Referee, conclude this game. You see the outpour of emotion there. You see the last goal of Johan Cruyff. He knows his job done. It's grand final time for FUTWIZ. Mbappe into Cristiano Ronaldo. Fantastic effort on the rebound. It's an awful parry.
That's so hard to take. If you're a FUTWIZ fan, if you're a Marco fan, so hard to take.
There could have been so many goals that made their way into that top 5 right there, because it's been another exciting day of FIFA here at the FIFA 20 Summer Cup Series Oceania, and there's more to come during that Summer Cup Series. Yes, this is only event 2, and there's more to come. We've had Europe, we've just completed Oceania. Now we do move on, we move forward right here as we can look at the calendar, we can look at what is coming up. Yes, we have South America, July 24th to the 26th. Then we have our FIFA 20 Summer Cup Series Asia, 28th to the 30th, followed by North America, 31st of July to the August the 2nd. And then we have our Middle Eastern Africa Summer Cup Series, August 7th to August 9th. As always, you can watch all the action on twitch.tv/EA Sports FIFA. Now, what an excellent 3 days it's been. Myself, Kyle Walker, Jake Barford and Mike LaBelle have been here for it all. I need your final thoughts before we round out the entire tournament. Jake, how have you found it? Your first one working with me.
I'm actually blown away. First off, it's been a pleasure, boys. It has been such a fun tournament. We got to thank everyone, Richard, Brandon, the production team. It's been phenomenal. Great 3 days, but also the talent we've seen today has quite frankly blown me away. We got a little bit of everything. We got some high-scoring games, some late goals to win it, and this has been a fun start. And if this is going to be anything like the rest of the tournaments, we're in for a fun end to the summer. What about you, Mike? What are we saying?
No, I'm happy. I'm thinking back on the matchups, the late drama, the eliminations, even the narrative here. I'm all about telling an underdog story, and I also like when we see new talent emerge, which is something that's been very consistent every single competitive year. And this is no different. And that's kind of what Summer Series is about to a certain degree, is that you're going to these regions and there's players getting exposure they wouldn't necessarily receive because it's so competitive to get to international events, and you have limited spots depending on which region you're competing out of. So you might be at the top tier level, but unfortunately you got someone who qualifies for everything in front of you that's ranked top 10 in the world, and you just never get a spot because he's always beating you in qualifiers. So it's a good way to get additional looks. And I'm really happy that we were able to put on this event, and that we were able to see an undefeated Nazar here. I didn't predict that. I wouldn't have predicted that coming into the tournament. So congratulations to him. And like I said, it's got to be definitely on the radar for future teams, organizations, and clubs.
He definitely has. Now, we've got one thing left to do. That is to look back at all of our prediction stats. Yes, we've been giving these predictions throughout. Richard Buckley has been our prediction king throughout the past 2 days. We've had some beautiful images of him on the stream. So let's see who is our prediction master from today. Oh, yes. Oh,
Look
there's me. I didn't
I wonder
think
how
that
that
they'd be
happened
able...
for Kyle. Like, he didn't go last and choose whatever Rich chose, right? Just saying.
That's what it is. Just follow Richard Buckley no matter what you do. I've got to say, his image, look at him. He just looks so handsome right there. And that new Manchester City kit, it looks all right, doesn't it, on me? I don't mind that crown. I'll join the crown with Richard Buckley. But all that's left to say is to every single person that has been, thank you so much. Well done to all the competitors here. You've made the FIFA 20 Summer Cup Series Oceania what it is. Jake, Mike, thank you so much for joining us, and to all the sponsors, thank you once again. And now it's all roads leading to our next tournament. Yes, the FIFA 20 Summer Cup Series South America kicks off tomorrow, and we'll see you there.